It's time for Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, The Barbers Inn in Swissvale, A-Boss Opticians, Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show.
A pleasant good evening and welcome to the Wolverena, the Turtle Creek home of the Woodland Hills Wolverines. And tonight it's home to the final game of the Western PA versus Everyone High School Football Showcase. Adam Gusky and Eric Shuley on the call for you up here in the booth, and down on the field is Rick McIntyre. Last season, Woodland Hills finished with a record of 6-5 overall, 6-2 in conference play. Meanwhile, their opponent this season, Woodrow Wilson High School out of Washington, D.C., was 6-6. These teams have never played before, and it's the first time since the late 1980s that Woodland Hills has played a team from the D.C. Metro. We're going to step away for a couple of minutes, and when we return, we are going to continue our pregame coverage. Again, it's the Woodland Hills Wolverines and Woodrow Wilson right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School's Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust. Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel.
Wolverena, the Turtle Creek home of the Woodland Hills Wolverines, Adam Gusky and Eric Shuley on the call for you up here in the booth, and down on the field it is Rick McIntyre, and Eric will bring you in first. Woodland Hills has some expectations this year, especially considering they entered this season with significantly more of a settled environment than they had a season ago.
Oh, absolutely. We got big quarterback questions too as well, which is something we're not as used to coming in. We have 2 guys who may be competing for a job. That'll be interesting. Disappointing to see some guys who won't be playing tonight or are typical starters, but got to roll with the punches and see what we can do.
Let's send it down to the field where Rick McIntyre has some insight for us. He's found some things out throughout the pregame, and he also has some more insight on that quarterback situation.
Yes, Adam, I briefly spoke with head coach Tim Bostard here in his second year. replacing the legendary George Novak for Woodland Hills. And mainly I was asking about the quarterback situation, and everybody asked on this staff is really, really big on this young man, Gavin Judson. He's a senior this year at Woodland Hills. He's a fairly new face to you Wolverine fans, but he was here, I believe, in his sophomore year. Spent his freshman year at Central, sophomore year here, moved up to upstate New York for a year, and now he's back to finish out his high school career with the Wolverines. I know he's maybe a little bit nervous because, as Eric mentioned, there's a handful of young men here that are not playing tonight as starters, and I believe 4 of those players are on that offensive line. So it's going to be a real test tonight to see some of the other kids step up and see how they protect this new quarterback.
We are moments away from kickoff here in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. We are going to step away for just a couple of minutes, and when we return, it will be the kickoff for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers on the pregame show here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Woodland Hills Football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit owenthelawyer.com. There are a few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barber's Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave that you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barber's Inn. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barber's Inn.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment. Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Welcome you back on a humid but beautiful late summer evening here in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania, as the Woodland Hills Wolverines take on Woodrow Wilson High School out of the D.C. area. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley, and Rick McIntyre on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Good to have you along with us, whether you're joining us on our website, Facebook page, or on triblive.com. Now, we will have a pregame presentation as well as the Star Spangled Banner in the next couple of minutes, so we're going to step away for that. But we did want to thank you for joining us for this big lid lifter in Tim Bostert's second season as the head coach for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. And things are a lot more clear headed into this 2018 football season for the black and turquoise. And Eric, while we wait for this presentation to get underway, give us some of your thoughts headed into this season, especially that the Wolverines have a modicum of returning players, but a lot of youth and a lot of players to replace.
Oh, absolutely. There's lots that you have to look forward to this year. You got a lot of defensive starters that are returning. The offense, especially the line, got a lot of questions there because they're very young, and as Rick mentioned, a lot of them are injured or not available. So you're going to have to make adjustments for that and see what we can do. And there were some good things that Coach Tim brought in last year. We saw the Wildcat a little bit. You got some great skill players on this team. Maybe we could bring that back, we'll see what happens.
Let's turn it over to Assistant Superintendent Alicia Lentz with a special presentation for the 100th anniversary of Turtle Creek High School.
The school district of the borough of Turtle Creek purchased the lot from Rachel McMasters Miller. Over its 100 years, Turtle Creek High School has transitioned from a large high school, experience building additions, renovation, district mergers, and a junior high concept. Over the years, the building has been known as Union High School, Turtle Creek High School, Turtle Creek Area High School, East Junior High, and now the Woodland Hills Academy. Presenting a commemorative plaque to the committee of Turtle Creek High School is Woodland Hills Superintendent, Mr. James Harris, Woodland Hills School Board President, Ms. Jamie Glasser, and Woodland Hills School Board Region 1 Representative, Ms. Sharday Seligson.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the committee another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, may I direct your attention to the field, where we are proud to present the precision, poise, and power of the black, white, and turquoise. Tonight, the national anthem is going to be sung by members of the Woodland Hills Chamber Choir under the direction of Mr. Chris Lorette. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand, and gentlemen, please remove your hats.
And again, it's the Woodland Hills Wolverines taking on the Woodrow Wilson Tigers here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Adam Gusky, Eric Schuley, Rick McIntyre on the call for you.
Exclusive on for the 2018 WPIAL football playoffs and championship game.
And Rick, while we have a moment before kickoff, let us know what it feels like down on the field. I've been in the press box all day long doing public address for the first three games, and things have certainly been muggy in here, to say the least.
Yeah, I can't say it's much better down here, Adam. It's pretty humid down here, a little close, as they say. There is a little bit of a cool breeze that gets a little bit of relief, but this first game, these kids like to come out pretty amped up, so we'll keep an eye on those leg cramps early on in the game and see how these kids are conditioned.
And obviously, cramps are going to be an issue if these weather conditions continue. Hopefully, conditioning has been ample through the preseason. Kicking off for Woodland Hills will be senior Chucky Hanchett, and back deep to return for Woodrow Wilson is number 16, Amar Gerald. And we are underway in Turtle Creek, PA. This ball carries down to about the 8-yard line where Quincy Barber has the return for Woodrow Wilson. He'll turn the near corner, finally pushed down and out of bounds along this near boundary. Tackle for Taylon Brooks for the Wolverines.
Good start for Woodrow Wilson, Adam. Barber taking that ball on the right side, had a nice opening, and he took it, showed some nice speed there early.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Woodrow Wilson with the football at their own 40-yard line. Woodrow Wilson, they wear their all-white road uniforms. They're actually going to move the ball back to the 35, where apparently the ball carrier had initially stepped out. But Woodrow Wilson, all-white road unis. Woodland Hills in their all-black home uniforms. Woodland Hills with the turquoise numerals and the turquoise lids with the black ears and stripes, while the white helmets are worn by the Tigers with the paws on either side. Quarterback is Malachi Anthony, and he will hand off to the tailback, and that's Amir Gerald. Gerald is brought down after a gain of about 3, and that'll bring up second down and 7. The football set at the 38-yard line. Again, it's Gerald, and the tackle made by the Wolverines. Anthony Meredith with the tackle for Woody High.
Anthony Meredith, we're going to see a lot of him on both sides of the ball, I would suspect.
And that brings up third down and about 2 with the football at the 43-yard line. Anthony, straight drop back, looks down the middle, and he's looking for the receiver, Rodney Stubbs, and the pass is incomplete. Back on coverage, Jeffrey Williams for the Wolverines. And that brings up fourth down and about 2. And on 4th and 2, it's decision time for Woodrow Wilson and their head coach, Mark Martin.
Oh, absolutely. This is, an early game. Doesn't really have any true full meaning to it in terms of later in the season and playoffs. So you might want to go for it. Take a chance, see what you can do here.
So the offense will stay on the field, at least for the moment, for Woodrow Wilson, as the quarterback, Anthony, in the pistol. And he is going to hand off, and the ball carrier out into open field. Amir Gerald finally brought down, but that's not before picking up a first down deep into Woodland Hills territory. Finally brought down at the 38-yard line.
First down, Woodrow Wilson.
They had a big hole there. Adam looked like they were keyed in, ready to stop him short, and he slipped through a hole.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Woodrow Wilson. The football at the 38-yard line. The tackle was made by Jay Smith on that previous play, incidentally. Anthony off the pistol, and flags fly, and we are going to send it down to the field to our referee.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So that'll march the Tigers back 5 yards.
Bring up the first down.
That brings up first down and 15 for the Tigers with the football at the 43-yard line. Handoff's going to go to the end-around man, and that is Rodney Stubbs, and Stubbs is hit, pushed back.
Quincy Barber on the carry, tackled for a loss.
Quincy Barber, rather, pushed back.
Tackle made by the Wolverines.
And the tackle was made all the way back near the 49-yard line. We'll credit the tackle to William Clark of the Wolverines, and that brings up second and very long. The line to gain is the 28-yard line, so it's a second and 21 right now. Anthony's pass to Barber, and Barber is tripped up in the open field by Jay Smith.
Very nice tackle by Jay Smith there. Get him around the ankles, not let him get free.
It's going to be a loss of 1 on that play ultimately. And That brings up 3rd down and 22.
Jay Smith has seen the playing field a decent amount in last year, so he has experience in the secondary for the Wolverines.
Anthony in the pistol, trips left, one receiver right, claps his hands. Straight drop back, now he's pressured, he's hit, he's wrapped, he's brought down by a host of Wolverines, and the first one down at the bottom of the pile is Anthony Meredith.
Just a great job by the Wolverines there, Adam, not letting Anthony get time, getting him pressured right away, and then wrapping him up and making that sack, not letting him break free. He seemed shifty, and he could have been able to get out there and make some noise, but Wolverines took care of it.
So the punt unit does come on now for the Tigers, and the punter is Amir Gerald. Gerald end over end kick. Jay Smith, the return man for Woodland Hills, calls Peter, and
Gerald with the punt.
The Wolverines clear away, and the punt is downed by the Tigers, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolverines.
First down and 10
with the ball at the 23-yard line. And now we get our first look at Gavin Judson, the 6'3", 196-pound senior QB.
This will be very interesting, Adam, coming over from New York, as Rick mentioned early in the game.
So Judson in the pistol, sidecar just behind him to his left-hand side, and he's going to hand off to Meredith, who finds a crease, lowers the shoulder, drives his way forward, and finally brought down by Joshua Thompson, but not before picking up 7 yards, bringing up a very manageable 2nd down and 3.
Tough run by Meredith, a lot of what we saw last year, so we're picking up right where we left off.
Yeah, a season ago, Rick McIntyre, who's our field reporter today, talked about how Meredith loved to seek out contact, and that's exactly what he did there.
Oh, yeah, he has never shied away from that contact, for sure.
Handoff again to Meredith, and he'll drive his way back to the line of scrimmage and actually end up picking up about a yard or so before being brought down by Feast Field.
Looked like a little bit of a extracurricular activity there after the play between maybe Jaden Lucas and Rashad Biggs, I think.
And it's 3rd down and 1 as the Wolverines break the huddle. The ball at their own 32-yard line on the near hash. Trips right, one receiver to the near side left. Judson in the pistol, hands off Meredith. Meredith hesitates, lowers the shoulder, leans the ball forward. He'll be close to the 1st down flag. It'll depend on the spot, and then a flag comes in very late from way off the mark, and this probably is going to be somebody guilty on one of those aforementioned extracurriculars.
Absolutely. It looked like Wolverines were clapping on the play, so I hope that maybe that's what it was.
Check in with our referee.
After the play, personal foul, defense, 15-yard penalty for the end of the run, 1st down.
So Meredith was actually stopped just about a half a yard short, and he ends up getting the 1st down after a penalty because of a late shove by one of the Tigers.
Yeah, that's an early break for the Wolverines. Got to take advantage of it now right at about midfield.
Ball at the 48-yard line where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Woodland Hills. Judson, snap a little off the mark, and then the handoff was a little off the mark. Meredith had to pull it off of his hip.
Handoff to Meredith.
Meredith was brought down in the backfield by Curtis Jefferson.
Looks like Judson maybe a little bit tentative with some of these gives to Meredith, as you know they're getting used to each other, haven't worked together before other than camp and practice. So to get some getting used to here early in the season, that's for sure.
Loss of 3, 2nd down and 13.
Twins to either side. Judson, shotgun. Sidecar to his left in Meredith. 2nd down and 13 as Judson throws to the near side. Jaden Lucas on the reception. He'll drive his way back to the initial line of scrimmage of this set of downs before being brought down, and this will bring up 3rd down and 10.
Looking to break the passing game out a little bit there. Just a quick release.
and Dixon.
Lucas made one move, able to get a little bit extra yardage, but puts Wolverines in a 3rd and 10 here.
3rd and 10 for Woody High as they have trips to the right of the formation and one receiver to the near side left. And Tavian Brooks. Hard count. Judson rolling to his right. Steps up, throws. Pass complete over on that far sideline. Josh Rawlings makes the reception. He gets shouldered out of bounds, but not before picking up a first down for the Wolverines.
Very, very, very nice throw by Judson there. You know, Rawlings was covered. He was open, but he had guys right on his back. Great throw by Judson, running out to the over to the right, able to showcase his arm. He's got some nice arm strength. Made a nice throw and a nice catch by Rawlings, able to hold on after he got hit pretty hard there on the sideline.
From the Tiger 38-yard line.
True pistol this time with Meredith behind Judson and trips to the left and one to the short side right. Hand off, Meredith hesitates, now bursts through. He's got room, he's got the first down before finally being brought down by Thomas Zeitler, but not before picking up a first down at the 27-yard line.
There again, we see Meredith not shying away from contact, taking the ball straight up the middle. It looked like a bit of a counter there, but he comes right down and lowers the shoulder, and the boom.
5 minutes exactly to play here in quarter number 1. Scoreless between Woodland Hills and Woodrow Wilson. The Wolverines threatening here. 27 yards away from pay dirt, 1st and 10. Trips left, one receiver right. Judson shotgun. Hands off, Meredith cutting left, now cuts it upfield, driving his way forward, and he'll be brought down by Christian
Meredith
Watkins.
over the left side of the line.
So after the Watkins tackle, it'll be 2nd down and about 4 for Woodland Hills, with the football at the 21-yard line, the line to gain the 17.
Very nice cut by Meredith there. That's what got him all that yardage. He kept stringing him out, and he made the cut at the perfect time.
Judson shotgun bunch to his right, one receiver to the near side left, but he's tight also. Judson looks right the whole way, throws right. The pass intended for Jaden Lucas, but that one too strong and over his head. The coverage over there by Chad Rockingham, but that was irrelevant because the pass was so far off of the mark. And that brings up 3rd down and about 4 for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Adam, tough to see that because he was pretty open. If he takes that ball, we know Jaden Lucas, he might have been able to make a move and get in the end zone there.
Third and 4, football left hash. Throw across the middle and the pass is incomplete. Didn't look like the quarterback Judson was on the same page with Jay Smith.
Flag coming in,
Adam. Flag comes in late.
Looks like taunting, if I had to guess.
And this looks like this is the 2nd time that Rashad Biggs is being talked to by his coaching staff for getting involved with jawing or shoving after the play's over.
Yeah, it looked like he and Meredith were going at it a bit, and then he went on to clap right in Meredith's face, and that's when the flag came out.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, half a distance to the goal, first down.
Another big break for the Wolverines, Adam.
And that'll bring up a first down for the Wolverines.
Well, instead of 4th down and about 4 from the 21-yard line, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Woody High, with the football moved from the 21 down inside of the 11 towards the 10-yard line.
Looks like we'll get a chance to get a first down maybe right inside the 1 before, because it's not 1st and goal here, so that could end up helping us out. We will see.
Judson shotgun, side Carter's left in Meredith. Meredith takes a delayed handoff. Looked like Judson may have had the option to pull it out of the belly there, but Meredith took the handoff nonetheless and got back to the line of scrimmage no further.
Yeah, that hesitation has been hurting Wolverines a little bit here. Going to make that read a little bit faster, it looks like.
Tackle was made by Curtis Jefferson.
No gain, 2nd down and 10.
And a timeout on the field. That's going to give us an opportunity to step away for the first time during our in-game action.
Woodland Hills, first charge timeout at half.
Scoreless here at the Wolverena. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Live on the radio.
2nd and 10 for Woodland Hills. The football set at the 11-yard line. The line to gain just inside of the one for Woody High.
Like the timeout call there by Coach Tim Adam. Settle these guys down. This is a crucial point here. You want to get in the end zone early.
Judson in the shotgun. Looks right now, looks back left. Throws. And the pass is incomplete as he was looking for a receiver down there, Michael Roman.
Another flag comes in late, Adam.
Michael Roman. There appears to be another flag on the play.
We'll check in with our referee, but if this is another post-play flag against Woodrow Wilson, their coaching staff is going to be beside themselves.
Oh, absolutely. 3 in 1 drive. That's not something you want to see.
After the play, personal foul, defense, half the distance to the goal, 2nd down.
So between personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conducts, things are really going off of the rails for this defensive squad for Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, you don't want to give free yardage to the Wolverines. And they have done that on multiple occasions on this drive, and it's definitely hurting them as the Wolverines have the ball at the 5-yard line now.
The Wolverines get an opportunity on 2nd down again here, except this time the ball's down near the 6-yard line. Under center for the first time. Judson rolling to his right, has some room. Instead, he's going to throw it into the end zone. The pass just behind the receiver, but he's able to come down with it. A Woodland Hills touchdown for Josh Rawlings.
Great play by Judson there, able to string out to the right and find Rawlings. He actually had, I don't know if it was Lucas, another receiver, it looked like they were open as well, had his choice, made a nice strike, nice throw. Rawlings pulled it in.
We'll see Chucky Hand should come on to attempt the point after touchdown for Woodland Hills.
Ineligible man downfield, offense.
Oh my.
Still, 2nd down.
The flag came in very late. I didn't see it.
I did not see it either.
Is negated by the penalty.
So the TD will be wiped off of the board, and instead of 2nd down and 5 from around the 6, we're now looking at 2nd down and 10 from around the 10-yard line, near the 11 rather.
Yeah, it could be part of that inexperience on the offensive line. As we know in high school, they don't need the numbers, so gotta guess or look at the replay, but figure that could have something to do with it, that inexperience.
Judson looks right, throws right. The pass is tipped by Josh Rawlings. He can't haul it in. And it will be 3rd down for Woodland Hills. 3rd down here and 10 from the 11-yard line.
And I feel fortunate there that ball was not tipped into the hands of a Tiger. Looked like they had the jersey of Josh Rawlings there a little bit. Did Dante Jones, but no call. So the move forward here on 3rd down.
.322 to go here in the first quarter. We're scoreless in Turtle Creek. Woodland Hills and Woodrow Wilson. And game number 6 of the Western PA versus everybody high school football showcase. The host Wolverines playing the final game of this 6th game.
Another flag coming in.
Delayed game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So we go from 3rd down and 10 at the 11-yard line to 3rd down and 15 at around the 16-yard line.
Keep shooting ourselves in the foot, Adam. That's some same thing for the Tigers. They did it, and now the Wolverines are doing it. So you don't want to go backwards here, especially when you're close to the end zone. So hopefully Judson can put something together here for the Wolverines.
So 3rd and 15 for Woody High with the football at the Woodrow Wilson 16-yard line. Judson grabs the shotgun snap, looks to his right-hand side, finds his receiver. Diving towards the goal line is Jay Smith, and he's into the end zone for a Woodland Hills touchdown. An acrobatic TD for Woody High puts them on the board.
Just a fantastic catch and run by Jay Smith there, showcasing something we haven't been able to see much because, as I mentioned, he's been playing mostly on defense in the past. Makes a great catch from a very nice throw by Judson, and a move and a nice dive to the end zone, gets the pylon and the touchdown. Dropped the ball there. Luckily, the refs ruled that was a touchdown and not a touchback.
Well, once he gets that ball in his hands across the goal line, it doesn't matter what happens as long as he's already caught the ball. Once he crosses that goal line, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Luckily, he held on there.
PAT by Chucky Hanchett is up and in. And finally, we have points on the board as Woodland Hills leads Woodrow Wilson 7-0. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Tigers here on the Trim Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills scores on a touchdown pass to Jay Smith. And the first touchdown of Gavin Judson's career here at Woody High was completed in style to Jay Smith. And let's set it down to Rick McIntyre. Rick, what are you hearing on the sidelines regarding that first offensive drive in the defensive stand the Wolverines had?
Just standing there hearing some of the coaches talking to the kids on the sideline here. The phrase I'm hearing the most is keep your head, don't react, stay calm, remember who we are. You're seeing a lot of opening jitters here. It's manifested in some miscommunications on the Woodland Hills side and some big-time penalties on the white jersey side.
Thanks a lot, Rick. We'll check back in with you as the game progresses. As this football, kicked by Chucky Hanchett, will carry down to the 2-yard line. Enough English on it for it to roll back in bounds instead of rolling out of bounds. And the ball picked up by Quincy Barber, and he's going to be brought down inside the 5-yard line. The Wolverines smelled blood, and Desmond Jackson ended up racing down there to make the tackle for the Wolverines.
Yeah, usually you talk about the Coffin corner on punts there. That was a beautiful kick by Hanchett, as that was not going to go out of bounds, and Barber knew that, so he had to pick that up and run with it. And you're going to have trouble trying to run like that against the Wolverines and get into open space. Wolverines contained him and took him down, and now this Woodrow Wilson drive will start deep in their own territory.
Yeah, the Tigers are going to start this one. It looks like at the 6-yard line. Maybe that's where they say his forward progress finally stalled.
10 Tigers from their own 6-yard line.
With 3:05 to play in the first quarter, Woodrow Wilson has the football at their own 6. Handoff's going to go to Gerald. And he is brought down. The ball came loose, but long after Gerald was brought down, after a gain of about 6, maybe 7 yards out to the 13-yard line.
Like Jeffrey Williams thought he had himself a free touchdown there. But as you said, it looked like the ball came out after. That was very close, actually closer than we thought as he ripped it out. but looked like his knee was down.
So credit the tackle to Jaden Lucas, and that brings up second down and about 4. As again, the ball carrier is Gerald. And Amir Gerald is brought down right near the first down flag.
Looks like they got it.
Christopher Jones on the tackle. Gain of 2, third down and 4.
Clock now winding with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the first quarter. Woodland Hills on top of Woodrow Wilson, 7-zip. First and 10 with the football at the 16. Malachi Anthony, he'll set in the shotgun with Gerald next to him. Anthony looking left the whole way, has a receiver down that far boundary and overthrows Quincy Barber. Quincy Barber had a step on the D-back over on that far side, but William Clark was bailed out by an overthrow by the quarterback, Malachi Anthony.
Oh, he definitely had a step at him, if not a few. He was able to break free there, and that could be a product of missing Mike Coleman, one of the best men in the secondary here for the Wolverines tonight, so they're going to have to adjust to that and be ready for those kind of openings.
Handoff coming to Gerald as he'll round the corner on the right-hand side. A host of Wolverines are there, and the ball was ripped out by Michael Roman. Now, Roman thought he got the ball out before the whistle blew, but the officials do not agree, and Roman, amongst others, made the tackle there for the Wolverines.
Yeah, you know, Adam, looked like that time was even closer to having the ball being out before he was down. But you're not going to get that call very often from the refs unless they see it very clearly, and there was a big mashup of jerseys there, so it was hard to tell when he was exactly down. But nonetheless, puts him in a third and about 7.
And Anthony, he's pressured, he'll be wrapped, and he will be brought down by Michael Roman. Roman stands up and has a word or two to say to Anthony, the quarterback, after the play was over. But a big defensive play there by the Wolverines linebacker.
Absolutely, not letting him get free there. As we've seen, he has good legs and he has the ability to move out of the pocket.
Was a 77-yard scoring drive, capped off by a touchdown pass.
So 4th down and 7 for Woodrow Wilson with the football right near the 20-yard line. So actually spotted down at the 19. Side judge over on that far sideline, nor the flag was actually where the football was. So that was where the issues stood, but the football is placed at that 19-yard line. Now they'll move it forward to the 20 where the side judge was. And the tailback, who's also the punter, Amir Gerald, steps back and will boot this one away. End over end punt that will take a bounce in favor of Woodrow Wilson. Will be scooped up by Woodland Hills into the near sideline. Comes the return man, Jay Smith, who already has a touchdown on the day. And jawing goes on this near sideline. Jeffrey Williams from Woodland Hills had some words for the bench after Jay Smith was forced out of bounds and took a little shove late in the play as well.
Yeah, I can't blame him for wanting to protect his teammate there, but you want him to keep his head, stay cool there. Looked like he did a couple claps in the face of a Tiger there, so luckily we did not get penalized on that.
So Woodland Hills will start this drive at the 46-yard line, 54 yards away from pay dirt. Their last touchdown drive covered 77 yards. Handoff, Meredith hesitates, bounce to the left-hand side, he's got some room. He's inside of Woodrow Wilson territory. He observes a blow, the football comes loose. Looks like the Tigers fall down on top of it. And the officials are going to unpile. And down at the bottom of the pile is Christian Watkins with the football for the Woodrow Wilson Tigers.
And that's where not shying away from contact can really hurt you there. Meredith already had a great run. Looked like he already got the first down or close to it. And fighting for that extra yardage, the ball gets ripped free.
Yeah, hit right there at the 45-yard line, and then the ball ripped out of there by Jamal Dean, the defensive back. And then Woodrow Wilson came out of there with that football. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers with the football at their own 45. So the Wolverines' first possession ends with a touchdown. Their second ends with a fumble by Meredith.
hopefully the defense can recollect. They were just out on the field, so didn't get to get much of a breather, but hopefully they can collect themselves here and make another big stop as the Tigers have some good field position here at their own 45.
And Anthony's going to go right to the air on first down, trying to catch the Wolverines on their heels after turning the ball over, but the pass to Quincy Barber is down along that artificial turf, kicked up a ton of those Roundup tires, and that brings up second down and 10 with just under 31 seconds to play here in quarter number 1.
Yeah, it was going to take a pretty good throw by Anthony there as coverage was coming in by the Wolverines, looked like William Clark.
Anthony, near side, throws, completes the pass to Balinga, and Balinga is going to escape the first tackler and then be driven back by Michael Roman, also in on the tackle, Jaden Lucas for Woodland Hills.
Anthony's pass received by number 6, Balinga.
But not before Balinga picks up about 9 yards, bringing up a very manageable third down and 1.
Got some nice forward progress there for the Tigers, and able to put them in a very, very manageable situation.
And Woodrow Wilson will allow the quarter to expire, and that will give us an opportunity to take a break.
That will finish the quarter.
With the scoreboard reading, Woodland Hills 7 and Woodrow Wilson 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and neighboring Woodland Hills communities for over 110 years. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that their crematory is used exclusively for the families they serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back in Turtle Creek, starting the second quarter momentarily here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. It's been quite a day and a half of high school football here in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. We'll get to that momentarily. Let's take a look at the Woodland Hills schedule. Non-conference game against Woodrow Wilson today in week 0. Then week 1, the Wolverines travel to Bethel Park, then out to Peters Township for another conference road test. Then they host conference foe Upper St. Clair. And then the Wolverines will host the Baldwin Highlanders before hitting the road to take on West Allegheny before finally stepping out of conference again against Kiski on October 5th. So Anthony on a manageable third down and 1. He'll hand off, and Gerald, the ball carrier, drives his way forward and picks up the first down. Tackle on the play by Anthony Meredith.
A nice run by Gerald there. He's very similar to Meredith in that he does not shy away from the contact. Stopped initially, but pushed through and got some nice extra yardage there.
And the handoff is going to go again to Gerald, who's going to run to his right-hand side, and he will be brought down.
Not surprised we're getting a heavy dosage of him here, Gerald.
Yeah, gain of 3 there.
Ball spotted at the 37. Second down and 7.
Anthony, pressured, steps forward. He'll be wrapped and he'll be brought down right shy of the line of scrimmage. Now he became a runner, so no sack there for Christopher Jones, but Christopher Jones will be credited with a tackle for loss as that runner was brought down a little shy of the line of scrimmage.
It's a very nice job by the Wolverines to contain him and not let him get free, because there was some open greenery in front of him if he was able to hit it.
Anthony looking down the middle, and the intended receiver, Dimitri Ricks, had a step on the defensive back, but the pass was off the mark, and that'll bring up third down and 7.
There have been some very close calls here tonight in the passing game for the Tigers. looked like Ricks was able to get some separation there, and Anthony just off on the pass there.
Correction, Ricks on the intended receiver's end.
So it's 4th down and 7. And will Woodrow Wilson keep the offense on the field, or are they going to go punt, or are they going to go pooch punt? Well, at least for the moment, they're going to have Anthony in the pistol. He looks right. He throws right. He finds the receiver on that far sideline, and they'll say that Belinga is able to make that catch just a step past that first down marker at the 29.
And they gave him a nice cushion there, Adam. And when you're going to do that, you're going to give them the opportunity to make run those routes and get those first downs. They're not looking to hit a home run there. They're looking to get that first down, and that's exactly what they did.
From the 29-yard line of the Wolverines.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Football at the Woodland Hills 29-yard line. Motion man from right to left. Pressured, and Anthony is brought down in the backfield by Josh Rawlings. Josh Rawlings with the sack, and it's a loss of 6.
Rawlings is another Wolverine junior that you're going to see a lot of this year on both sides of the ball. Maybe some tight end, and it looked like they were using him as a receiver on the first drive for the Wolverines, and then you're going to see him at defensive end a lot. He will certainly be used as much as possible for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Rawlings is listed as a tight end, but you're right, he did split out some as a receiver. Trips left, one receiver right. Anthony claps, takes the snap, looks to the right, throws to the right. The pass complete to Barber, and Barber spins his way forward inside of the 25 towards the 24-yard line.
On Malachi Anthony.
Let's send it down to the field. Rick McIntyre has some information for us.
Yeah, Adam, one of the things I've been watching from the field level here is on your side of the field here, number 6, Jones. He's given up about 7 inches and 100 pounds to that big number 75, and he is running circles around him the entire evening so far.
Anthony runs to his left, throws the football. He's hit as he releases the ball by Taiwan Milton. And Milton's pressure may have made that pass go awry just a bit more than could have been.
Stoppage and play.
And the clock stops with 8:54 to play here after the incomplete pass in the second quarter. And
not sure what that was about.
Well, I think it was an incomplete pass and the clock was running, so the officials wanted to get it stopped.
There we go. Did not see the clock running. Thank you, Adam.
So 4th and 4 at the 24. Meredith is going to, Anthony is going to set in the pistol with the sidecar behind him and to his left. Looking right the whole way. Separation back there, and the pass intended for Quincy Barber is incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs. And Woodland Hills, the defense bent but did not break there after the fumble by Anthony Meredith. Woodrow Wilson pushed the ball into Woody High territory, but no points for the Tigers.
Absolutely. We see that as a theme a lot for the Wolverines. A lot of bending, but they tend to hold teams very low in the scoring department in years past, and they did it again there after that nice 4th down conversion by the Tigers. This time, they didn't let it happen. Another overthrow by Anthony.
First and 10 for Woody High. The football on the right hash at the 24-yard line. Judson looks left the whole way, throws left. And the pass down that far sideline is going to be intercepted. Judson overthrew his intended target, and coming down with the football is Jairus Belinga.
Yeah, second time the first play of a drive ends in a turnover for the Wolverines. I like the aggressiveness in trying something there, using Judson's arm, but doesn't end well as the coverage was very good there by Belinga, able to come down with the interception.
So 2 turnovers for Woodland Hills. The first one didn't cost them any points. This one may. And, Eric, this is not what Woodland Hills wanted to do offensively. They got their first drive going, and they matriculated the ball down the field. They were beneficiaries of some penalties as well. However, more than anything, they were able to get points on the board on that first drive. Nothing doing on the last 2.
Yeah, it's been tough to start drives like that. You gotta adjust it, like I said, and don't let it get in your head.
Ball carrier, Amir Gerald. He is brought down in the open field by Jaden Lucas. Short loss on the play. Loss of about 1 brings up second down and 11.
It's a pretty decent spot there, too, by the ref, if you ask me. But I'm only about a yard difference, so.
Second and 11. Anthony in the pistol. And he is going to run to the near side. He's going to pitch it. The pitch to Barber. He cuts it back to the inside where he'll be swallowed up by a mass of Wolverines. In on the tackle for Woody High, Caleb Brevard.
Tricked by the Woodrow Wilson Tigers. Number 2, Quincy Barber on the run.
Looked like he tried a Miles Sanders type play there. Miles Sanders, the fantastic former Woodland Hills running back, starting at Penn State now, as he tried to cut back across the field, but Wolverines were not having it and swallowed him up quick.
Yeah, there was a defensive lineman who cut off the pursued angle there. That was number 53, Thomas Sheard, and then 2 Wolverines were there, the aforementioned Bavard as well as Taiwan Milton. So that brings up 3rd down and 13 after the loss of 2. Anthony rolls to his right, looks back to the left-hand side, looking down the middle. The pass intended for Belinga, but well overthrown.
Malachi Anthony's pass intended for
back there in coverage for Woodland Hills is Jay Smith. And that'll bring up 4th down and 13. And now the punt unit's going to have to come out for Woodrow Wilson. They've gambled on 4th down. It paid off once. It didn't pay off the second time. And now they're just going to bring the punt unit on.
Yeah, I think this is the safe call here. This is a 4th and pretty long after that overthrow by Anthony. He likes to showcase his arm strength, but it's pretty decent coverage there by the Wolverines, not to discredit that. Looks like they don't have enough guys in the field.
And it looks like Woodrow Wilson is going to use a timeout, so we're going to step away too. It's 7-0 Woodland Hills on top of Woodrow Wilson with 7:22 to play in the second quarter. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back in Turtle Creek, where Woodland Hills leads Woodrow Wilson, and the Tigers punted away. And this will give Woodland Hills another opportunity with the football. Jay Smith looked to charge at the football after it bounced, but instead thought better of it and allowed Woodrow Wilson to down the football.
Another late flag
down by Divine Clark, and the flag comes in. And I'm not sure why, but this is another one of those 15-yarders. I'm telling you, Mark Martin may start walking home to D.C.
Absolutely. It's not something you want to see again. I didn't even see any Wolverines around. I'm not sure what it could have been. But it did look like Messiah Thorne for the Tigers looked pretty upset after the flag was thrown, so he may have been guilty of something.
Sideline warning, Woodrow Wilson.
Okay, so that's the warning.
Yeah, just the sideline warning. Saw that a lot last night, actually, in the Central Catholic Erie Cathedral prep game. There's a lot of sideline warning going on Central Catholic. Fans weren't too happy about it, but it happens. You gotta be careful. You gotta realize where you're at, and you gotta make sure that you're listening to the refs when they tell you to back up.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll tell you what, that Central Catholic Erie Cathedral prep game, the best game thus far here in the Classic. We've seen blowouts other than that football game.
Absolutely, that was a great game.
Meredith, the ball caper, as he has the ball nearly pulled out of his belly by Gavin Judson, but it will be Meredith, the ball carrier for Woody High, and he'll push his way forward for a pickup of about 5 out towards the 15-yard line.
A lot of hesitation there again by Judson, and Meredith just wants to rip that ball away. very eager to take the ball. Judson not so quick to give it away.
Line to gain just past the 20, the football right near the 15, so it's about 2nd and 5.5. Woodland Hills going to be guilty of a false start here.
False start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
2nd down and 10.
So Woodland Hills is going to be pushed back 5 yards, and instead of 2nd down and a long 5, now it's 2nd down and a longer 10. With 6:29 to play here in quarter number 2. Woodland Hills on top of Woodrow Wilson 2-0. Thanks for joining us on the Woodland Hills Football Network on this beautiful late summer evening in western Pennsylvania. Judson looks left, throws left, pass complete to that far boundary. Coming down with the catch, Jaden Lucas for Woody High. And Lucas is brought down at the 14-yard line, so about a handful of yards picked up there, makes it 3rd down and 6. So a little bit easier for Woodland Hills, but certainly no piece of cake on 3rd and 6 deep in your own territory.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle by Belinga there, because if Lucas is able to get free, that would have been a 1st down for the Wolverines.
Correction, 3rd down and 6.
.5:45 as the clock winds here in the 2nd quarter. Judson with twins to the right, one receiver left. Looks right. Some happy feet as he's going to be pressured and then brought down.
Pressure from the Tigers.
Tackled by Thies Field. And Field is brought down, or brings down Judson rather. And the punt unit will come on for Woodland Hills. And Eric, we were here for the scrimmage, and this seemed to be one of the biggest issues that the Wolverines had in that scrimmage against Pine Richland a week ago.
Keeping Judson protected, absolutely, and with a couple injuries and unavailable players, that's gonna make it even worse as the inexperience grows more as a result of that.
The other issue Woodland Hills showed was a problem getting punts away cleanly, and not just cleanly, but good punts away. It's Chucky Hanchett, his first season as the punter. He drops the football. He's going to run out of the end zone, and he's going to avoid the safety. So that's one good thing. The problem is he gets nowhere near the 1st down markers. He's hauled down out near the 6-yard line. So Chucky Hanchett, quick thinking there, got out of the end zone, which is good to prevent the safety. However, couldn't hang on to the snap. We were talking about the beleaguered punt unit a week ago, and it shows up right there.
Absolutely, yeah. Bad snap there, and Hanchett gets out, like you said, but now fantastic starting field position for the Tigers.
Down and goal from the 6-yard line for Woodrow Wilson.
So 1st and goal for Woodrow Wilson with the ball right around the 6-yard line. Wolverine defense has stood tall thus far. They've bent a couple of times, but have not broken. We'll see what they can do here as the ball carrier, Amir Gerald, drives his way forward inside of the 5 before being shoved back by a host of Wolverines leading the charge. Caleb Brevard, no shock there, one of the senior linebackers.
Absolutely, he's in on a lot. You'll hear his name a lot. And nice job by the Wolverines plugging up that hole, not letting Gerald get through.
2nd down and 4, that was a gain of 2.
Power pistol. Anthony hands off. Gerald running left. Lowers the shoulder, drives his way forward, and he'll be brought down about the 2-yard line by Jeffrey Williams.
Again, the Wolverines holding tight here now. You know Coach Martin is aggressive, so you got to figure no matter what, he's going for it, even if they would not get in here.
3rd and goal at the 2 now for Woodrow Wilson with the ball at the left hash. Wilson hands off. Gerald runs left and into the end zone he goes for a Woodrow Wilson touchdown. And the Tigers are a point away from a tie football game.
It's a tough break for the Wolverines there, as we talked about the snap issues on the punt. Cost them points there, and the Tigers cash in.
Well, you know, in all honesty, Eric, Woodland Hills fumbled, no points. An interception, no points. And then you're backed up deep and you try to get a punt away, and a bad snap nearly costs you a safety. It ends up giving your opponent the ball at the 6-yard line, and they don't have very far to go to score. And finally, Woodrow Wilson cracks that scoreboard.
Yeah, you can only ask so much of the defense. They have done a lot so far, and only given up 6 points so far, probably about to be 7, but I think they've played pretty well for as much as they have been on the field.
Let's take a look at this point after touchdown for Woodrow Wilson. They're going to actually go for 2 here as Anthony is pressured. Now he's wrapped. Tries to elude that pressure, but to no avail as Caleb Brevard makes the tackle for Woodland Hills. And the Wolverines hold the slimmest of leads at 1 point. 3 minutes and 46 seconds to play in the second quarter. Woody High 7, Woodrow Wilson 6. It's the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for nearly 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, alignment, state inspection, emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
3:46 to play here in the second quarter. Woodland Hills on top of Woodrow Wilson, 7-6. Adam Gusky, Eric Truly on the call. Up in the broadcast booth, Rick McIntyre along the sidelines right after the kick. We're going to check in with Rick, see what the environment is like on that sideline in comparison to last time we checked in with him regarding the Woodland Hills TD and first defensive stand. Kickoff by Levi Kay will bounce towards a Wolverine, and it's finally scooped up by Jaden Lucas. Lucas will run to his left-hand side. Lucas off to the races and finally undercut at the 39-yard line, and now let's set it down to the field. Rick McIntyre, we talked about how upbeat things were for Woodland Hills, how they were talking about keeping their heads in the game when Woodland Hills stepped up on top 7-0. What's it like now that it's 7-6 and the Wolverines have turned the ball over twice and given Woodrow Wilson the short field a third time?
Right now, this Woodland Hills team on the sidelines is focusing on getting down the field here in 3.5 minutes, getting that score back, and even getting that nice lead going into halftime. This defense has done one heck of a job holding up, and as Eric said earlier, that's a lot to ask of them to come back in and stop them on 3 yards to the end zone.
Judson throws near side. The pass complete to Jaden Lucas, and Lucas will be brought down after a decent gain by Zion Cobb. And the gain of about 6 brings up second down and 4 from the 45-yard line.
Nice throw by Judson there. Had to go pretty far, and Lucas made a nice catch and able to hold on to the ball. He was looking to break free from that tackle, and ended up getting gang tackled there by several Tigers.
One back set as Judson's in the pistol, and he's going to hand off. Ball carrier this time is William Clark, and William Clark finds greenery and picks up a Woodland Hills first down, and he's brought down inside of Woodrow Wilson territory at the Tigers' 46-yard line.
Well, Will Clark, a nice compliment to Anthony Meredith. Got to see some of him last year, so we suspected he would be the backup running back. Able to give Meredith a break, as Meredith does go both ways, but we see Clark on defense too, so both of these guys playing on both sides of the ball.
Monty Silver made the tackle for Woodrow Wilson, but not before Woodland Hills picked up this first and 10 at the Tigers' 46-yard line. Twins to either side. Judson, straight drop back pressure, rolls to his left-hand side as he picks up a block. Judson pumps, now he'll tuck. He'll step out of bounds along that far boundary, picking up positive yards for Woodland Hills. So we've seen the arm of Judson. Now we see the wheels, and not too bad there on that pickup of 4.
Definitely. Watching some of his play in New York at Waverly High School, you were able to see him showcase those legs, and he did it again tonight. Didn't want to force anything. You like to see that. Able to make a play and get some decent yardage.
42-yard line.
So they're going to say it was a gain of 4, not 5, as they place the ball at the 42. Clock stopped with 2:20 to play in the second quarter. Judson shotgun, twins to either side, pumps, throws to the right. The pass is complete to Jay Smith. Jay Smith trying to drive his way forward for the first down. Instead, he will be picked up and thrown to the turf by Dante Jones. Now, I'll tell you what, I've seen that play at every level, college, NFL, and here at the high school level, where a player gets picked up and slammed down, and that's been called unnecessary roughness. That time it wasn't called.
Absolutely, and it was basically right after the whistle, so you would have thought that was even, the icing on the cake there to get the call. But refs didn't think so, but we're stuck in a 3rd and short.
That was a great hip toss, if anything, by Dante Jones. Sets Woodland Hills up 3rd down and 1, a yard away from a 1st down. As William Clark, the ball carrier, he's met in the backfield as there was a massive humanity there to meet William Clark.
Tackled for a loss by the Tigers.
DeZinho on the tackle.
Yeah, I didn't get to get that read there. Look, they came in on the blitz, and Judson had just called the snap, and Clark was in trouble from the get-go.
That was a loss of 4. Rather a loss of 3, bringing up a 4th down and 5.
So after the loss of about 3 yards, goes from 3rd and 1 to 4th and 4. Woodland Hills is going to keep the offense on the field at the 40-yard line with under a minute to play here in the 2nd quarter. Snap low to Judson. He's pressured, and he's going to slide down. Not sure what his decision was there. I just don't think he had the opportunity to set his feet and get rid of the football, and the offensive line just broke down there, especially coming from that right-hand side. And the sack was finally, no doubt about it, for Zion Cobb.
Yeah, it looked like you were right at him once he turned his back and then didn't have a chance to set his feet and throw the ball away. Figured he would just protect the ball and make sure didn't fumble, although that would not have mattered as that was 4th down. Although if they could have picked it up and run with it. So I guess at the very least,
seconds left in this half.
That's good.
Yeah, losing the yardage is not what Woodland Hills wanted. Not turning the football over, giving the defensive an opportunity to run with the football was a good outcome. Of course, Gavin Judson, the senior, new to this Woodland Hills club. After Rick talked about his many travels, going from Pittsburgh Central Catholic to Woodland Hills up to New York and then back here to Woody High for his senior year.
Good place to land, if you ask me.
Flags fly before the snap, and we're going to check in with our referee to see what the call is.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still, 1st down.
So instead of 1st and 10 with the football at the 45-yard line, it's going to be 1st and 15 with the ball at the 50.
Hopefully the Wolverines can stand tall here, Adam. Not give up any big plays.
Throw to the right-hand side, and it's intercepted. The second big play by Jay Smith. Smith slides out of a tackle, and he will be brought down inside of Tigers territory. The tackle is made by Malachi Anthony, but not before Jay Smith puts Woodland Hills back in business inside of Tigers territory with the INT.
Very nice job by Smith holding on to that ball. And a pretty decent return as well. Almost broke that last tackle there and able to get a little bit more yardage for the Wolverines. But now it gives you a situation where even though there's only about 32 seconds remaining, you have a chance maybe a couple out here, or see what Coach Tim decides to do.
And you know, Eric, this isn't much of a different situation than what we saw from Woodland Hills before the turnover on downs when Judson had to retreat and then slide down. They had the ball 4th down and about 4 with the ball at around the 40-yard line before that turnover on down. So, you know, we can see Judson maybe go to the air here and try to get some quick points for Woody High as they're only up by 1, 7-6.
Definitely, you get fresh set of downs as well.
Judson's going to run to the right-hand side, lowers his shoulder. He picks up positive yardage inside of the 40, where he'll be brought down at the 39-yard line, and a timeout is on the field.
Timeout, Woodland Hills. Second charge timeout of the half.
Timeout on the field. We'll step away to 7-6. Woody High on top of Woodrow Wilson. It's the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Triv Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
During which I'd like to remind the fans,
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
2nd down and 4 for Woody High. The football inside of the 40-yard line at the 39. 25.1 seconds to play in the second quarter. Low snap to Judson. Has time, throws to the left. The pass is complete to Josh Rawlings. Josh Rawlings spins his way forward. He picks up the first down. That's the good news. The clock will stop until the ball is set. The bad news is Rawlings didn't get out of bounds, which he could have maybe a yard shy of this spot. So instead, the clock will wind once that ball is set with just under 17 seconds to play. Looks like Judson's going to step under center and clock it. And that's exactly what he does. So the Wolverines burn down, and now the official on the near sideline is going to nitpick.
Yep, looks like that's what's going to happen there, Adam. You would have liked to have seen Rawlings get out of bounds, but he was unable to. Looked like he was fighting for extra yardage rather than just stepping out of bounds and conserving that time, because as we know, we have a pretty good leg in Chucky Hanchett, so the only option here isn't just a touchdown. Could certainly kick a field goal if we have the time.
And the reason I said that the official along the near sideline is going to nitpick is because a lot of times when the flag that's sitting on the field now is thrown in that circumstance, when the offense is clocking the ball, they're giving the flag because the offense wasn't set.
Before the snap, offsides, defense,
oh, wow.
5-yard penalty. Would the game clock operator please point 13 seconds on the game clock? 13.
And Eric, that was why I was starting to justify my earlier comment, because I saw the officials talking and I saw a preliminary signal that it may be offsides against the defense. Kind of nitpicky as well, because they are in the same circumstance where they know the offense is going to clock the football.
Exactly.
Correction because of the
But Wolverine's the beneficiary, so I guess we'll take it here. Clock winds. Pass thrown, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver there.
Like Jay Smith, I believe.
Yeah, Jay Smith was the receiver. He just couldn't hang on to it. And you may wonder why the clock was running there. The Wolverines stopping the clock, clocking the football. That down was wiped away because of the defensive penalty. So once the penalty was assessed, the ball was set, the clock wound at that point. So that's why we're down to under 6 seconds to play here. And the 1-point lead for Woodland Hills, and the Wolverines are 22 yards away from pay dirt, and this may be their last play of the game.
Yeah, it's a little aggressive here. As I mentioned, you got Chucky Hanchett, who could hit this field goal, but this is the last play of the half, I would assume.
And Judson, who's pressured, throws the ball away, and there's 1.1 seconds to go here as he throws it to that far sideline. The Wolverines dodge the proverbial bullet, but
like they're going to get maybe grounding on him.
Yeah, there was no receiver in the vicinity, and the quarterback was not out of the tackle box. The only thing that Judson did that was possible to negate pass interference was get the ball past the line of scrimmage.
Intentional grounding, offense, 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, loss of down, 3rd down.
I'll tell you, if there's one thing that I disdain about high school football is the number of from the spot of the foul penalties in high school football, as opposed to the college or professional level, where you're able to just
Woodland Hills.
Get that football and from 10 yards from wherever the foul took place, or rather the previous play took place. Timeout on the field. We'll step away one last time. Wolverines and the Tigers on Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football.
Woodland Hills at the line of scrimmage. Last play of the half. Judson rolls to his right-hand side. He's pressured. He's going to tuck. He's going to run. He's going to try to cut it back to the left-hand side where he has some room. And finally he will be hit and hit hard inside of the 20-yard line. And that's not good for Woodland Hills as Judson was tattooed at the 19. Fortunately, it looks like he's going to be able to get his wind and get to his feet. But the final play of the half looked like it could have been something magical for Judson. Instead, it ends with him getting blasted inside of the 19-yard line.
And you hope that he's okay, Adams. That's a tough way to end the half on that big hit that Judson took.
We're going to step away for about 30 seconds, and when we return, we will get you set for the halftime show right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, ABOS Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and the Zubin Dental Associates. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network Halftime Show.
Woodland Hills on top of the Woodrow Wilson Tigers here in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. Adam Gusky and Eric Schuley on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Rick McIntyre is down on the field, and you know, Eric, Woodland Hills had some opportunities to score some more points. They also dodged a couple of bullets here in the first half to hold this 1-point lead headed into the locker room.
Yeah, there was some great play by the defense. Obviously, the only points they gave up were after the bad snap on the punt, getting the ball. The Tigers got the ball right at about the 5-6 yard line. It's tough to stop them from there after multiple stops, after multiple turnovers by the Wolverines.
Now let's send it down to the field. Rick McIntyre, your first half analysis.
Overall, I think for the first half here, a couple minor hiccups there, some miscommunications early with some pass routes, maybe a couple bad decisions with some throws. Right now, my main concern is I was right on the kind of the line of scrimmage, right where that hit happened to end the half. And Judson took a decent shot, but I think what really got him was his head slammed really hard off the turf at the end of that tackle. And that seemed to me to be what slowed him down getting up. So hopefully they take a real close look at that at halftime, and I'll keep you updated if I hear anything.
Thanks a lot, Rick. Thanks a lot, Eric. And we are going to step away for a while here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And when we return, we are going to get you set for the second half here in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. Again, your halftime score, Woodland Hills 7 and Woodrow Wilson 6. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Halftime, Woodland Hills on top of Woodrow Wilson by a score of 7-6. And good news for Woodland Hills fans is at least during the warm-ups, Gavin Judson has returned to the lineup, and we're going to send it down to the field where Rick McIntyre has some more insight on not only what happened at the end of the half to Judson, but what he's learned since the Wolverines came out of the locker room.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. Like I said at the end of the first half, he took a nice shot to the belly. As he came down, his head whipped back extremely hard onto that turf. I was kind of standing right, in the nice line of view of it. I went into the locker room at halftime and, saw the team doctors from UPMC taking a look at him, going through all the tests. He seemed like he was checking out okay. As the team came out, I talked to assistant coach Brian Johnson. He said he gave me the thumbs up. Number 9's good to go.
Well, that's very good news for the Wolverines, Eric, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely, Adam. You don't want to see your new quarterback go down like that, especially in a play where he's trying to be tough, get extra yardage, and took a hit there. And we're glad to see him come back and be healthy.
We're going to step away one final time here in the halftime show, and when we return, it will be the start of the second half right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
A-Boss Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at A-Boss will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, A-Boss Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make A-Boss Opticians your opticians. Call A-Boss Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abossopticians.com.
Dawn and John at Matthews Auto Service have been serving the Turtle Creek Valley for over 40 years. In addition to being a full-service gas station, Matthews offers oil changes, state inspection and emissions testing, new tires, and light mechanical work. Matthews Auto Service, Monroeville Avenue in Turtle Creek, or call them at 412-824-0940.
And we are set to start the second half here in Turtle Creek as the kickoff by Levi Kay is returned by the Wolverines. Jeffrey Williams, as he cuts across the field from left to right, he's got room to that far boundary. He'll finally be tugged out of bounds across the midfield stripe. They're going to say he's out at the 48-yard line. And a nice return there by Jeffrey Williams off of the second half opening kickoff, and Woodland Hills looks to build on a 1-point lead with decent field position.
Williams looked very happy to get that ball, Adam. As one of the up men, may not get that opportunity very much this year, but he took advantage of that, and he cut all the way across the field and made some great yardage and put the Wolverines in great starting field position past midfield.
48-yard line, first down and 10 for the Wolverines.
So first and 10 for Woody High with the football at the 48. Trips left, one receiver to the right-hand side, and the flag flies before the snap.
Flag on the play.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
False start on the Wolverines. They'll lose 5 yards. First down and 15. Now from their own 47-yard line.
Justin, you didn't turn up the ref. Justin, you didn't turn up the ref.
So while we heard the official, you may have heard me in the background there telling the press box coordinator that it needs to be turned back up on the pump address system here after that penalty against Woodland Hills. Now a throw to the near side where The pass is complete to William Clark, and William Clark picks up 4 of the 5 the Wolverines lost on that false start penalty.
A nice little pass by Judson over to William Clark, getting him reacquainted here. We're seeing a lot of William Clark here, not much of Meredith. I'm not sure what that is about, but nonetheless, into a second 11 and 11 here.
Bunch to the right, one receiver to the near side left. Judson, shotgun. Looks right. Throws to the right, and breaking on the football, Jamal Dean bats that ball to the turf as the pass was intended for Jaden Lucas.
Just fortunate there that did not get intercepted, because he probably would have taken that to the house, as that pass by Judson did not have enough steam on it to get there in time and may have just been a little bit late.
3rd down and 11 for Woody High with the football at the 49-yard line. This drive started for Woodland Hills at the 48-yard line of the Woodrow Wilson Tigers after a Jeffrey Williams kickoff return from the near boundary all the way across the field, set Woodland Hills up in decent field position, but a foul and a short play is all Woodland Hills has been able to put together so far. Judson now stepping to his left, throws the ball complete to Jaden Lucas. Jaden Lucas is hit hard after picking up only a couple of yards as Monte Silver makes the stop for Woodrow Wilson. And a gain of 3 there brings up 4th down and 8. The football at the 46-yard line, and the punt unit comes on.
The
punt unit certainly had an inauspicious start to the season as an errant snap to Chucky Hanchett. It was low. He couldn't scoop it. He decided to run out of the end zone, try to save the safety. Turnover on downs gave Woodrow Wilson the ball at the 6. A couple of plays later, it was Woodrow Wilson's touchdown to make it a 1-point game.
Yeah, you only hope that this one is better, Adam.
Another low snap. This one's scooped, though. Hanchett gets away, and it's a beauty. And it'll hit off of the arm of a Woodland Hills gunner in Tavian Brooks. And had Brooks not been there, that probably would have taken a much better hop and headed down towards the goal line. Instead, it's going to be Woodrow Wilson ball at the 25-yard line.
You're right, Adam. It's tough that ball did not reach the ground and take a nice Wolverine bounce there. But at least it was able to be punted by Chucky Hinch at that time, and he was able to handle the low snap well and get off a decent punt.
10-13 to play, quarter number 3. Woodland Hills on top by 1, 7-6.
Sticking with Anthony here are the Tigers.
Malachi Anthony, the QB. He's going to hand off to Amir Gerald, who drives his way forward from the 25 out towards the 29-yard line.
Hand off to Amir Gerald.
You know, the reason I mentioned that, Adam, is because after watching some film from late games in the season last year for the Tigers, they were going with Quincy Barber, and he did a fantastic job at quarterback. So I'm not sure what the change is about, but something they saw in Anthony, I guess.
Again, the ball carrier
Gerald
is
again with the carry.
number 16, Amir Gerald. And he is stacked up. No gain this time. Brings up 3rd down and about 2, maybe a gain of a yard from 3rd and 3 to from 2nd and 3 rather to 3rd and about 2.
He's a very tough runner, Adam. He's hard to contain. Every time he seems to get little chunks of yardage, no matter what.
And Michael Roman was coming on a blitz, and he was very excited. So it looked like he was going to be able to turn the corner, get a bead on the quarterback, Malachi Anthony, instead.
Encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, results in a 1st down.
Don't want to give those free 1st downs up, Adam. Those are tough to swallow there. He was a little too eager coming off the edge.
10 for the Tigers from their own 38-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers after the 5-yard penalty against the Wolverines. Anthony, pistol. Hands off to Gerald, and Gerald is brought down in the backfield, knifing through there and making the play right away. Caleb Brevard for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, no surprise that Brevard is involved. Gerald hit and was not able to slip out there. Looked like Brevard may have even been getting held a little bit and still broke off the lineman and was able to pull down Gerald.
Anthony looks to the sideline with twins to either side and a sidecar to his right in Amir Gerald. Anthony looking left, then back to the right, now running to his left-hand side. And he's going to throw it, and there's nobody in the vicinity. Now there's the difference between what we saw earlier on the grounding against the Woodland Hills quarterback Gavin Judson and that particular incomplete pass by Malachi Anthony. Now they're going to throw the flag, but Anthony was out of the tackle box.
Exactly, he was out of the box.
He was out of the box 1-2, threw the ball across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is about. Looks like the Tigers are backing up, so it looks like it is on them, but...
Intentional grounding, offense. 5-yard penalty from the spot, lost it down, third down.
I assure you that's going to be something that I'm going to follow up on with some of the officials I have conversations with down the line.
Yeah, like he was out of the box there, but I'm certain the Wolverines will take that.
That's for sure. So backed up all the way to the 27-yard line, brings up third down and 21, and the snap goes through the hands of Malachi Anthony, and it will be Amir Gerald spinning down on the football way back at the 7-yard line. And after Woodrow Wilson was pushing the ball towards the midfield stripe, now they're all the way back inside of the 10 at the 8, and it's fourth down and 40.
You don't hear that too often, Adam. And, it looked like Anthony was not quite ready for that snap as that went right through his hands. And a great job by Gerald, though, to jump on that and make sure the Wolverines were not able to pounce on it and have a short field.
Jay Smith to receive for the Wolverines.
.7:34 to play here in the third quarter. Punt unit on. Good snap to Gerald. He gets away a knuckler. Takes a bounce. Initially in favor of the Wolverines, then headed back the other way, and unfortunately for Woodrow Wilson, it bounced right into the midsection of one of their gunners in Thomas Zeitler.
First down and 10 for the Wolverines.
First down and 10.
Officials timeout, injury.
Injury timeout.
So right now it'll be first and 10 for Woodland Hills. With the football at the 40-yard line as the athletic trainers are attending to one of the Woodrow Wilson players. That'll give us a chance to step away for a moment here in the second half. It is the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Woodrow Wilson Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
First and 10 for Woody High. Ball at the Woodrow Wilson 40. Anthony Meredith back in a tailback, dancing right, cutting back to the left-hand side, dragging a tackler with him. Finally brought down after picking up more than a handful of yards. I'll tell you what, he certainly would not be denied positive yardage on that one.
Yeah, it's shifty and tough. Anthony Meredith is. Right off the bat, he looked like he might be caught in the backfield by the Tigers, but then he's able to break free, get extra yardage, and then still drag in a Tiger, as you said.
Shotgun for the Woody High quarterback Judson. Gavin Judson motions 4 receivers to the right of the formation, throws the pass. Meredith, he bursts free. He's got the first down and more before he's finally undercut.
Judson pass to Meredith is complete, and that'll
by
bring up
number
a
2,
first
Quincy
down
Barber.
Again, another great play by Anthony Meredith. He looked like he was going to be taken down the backfield. Slips through a couple Tigers and gets a big first down for the Wolverines, showing some consistency on offense here.
Clock winding to 6 minutes and 22 seconds to go. And continuing here in the third quarter, Woodland Hills up by 1, 7-6. Woodland Hills, an early touchdown pass from Judson. As again, the ball is handed off by Judson to Anthony Meredith. Getting back to the scoring recap quickly. Gavin Judson found Jay Smith for a touchdown covering 15 yards for Woody High. And some sloppy football followed up by a bad punt snap by Woodland Hills, giving Woodrow Wilson the ball at the 6-yard line. And a couple of plays later, it was a 2-yard touchdown run by Amir Gerald. The run failed on the 2-point conversion attempt, and that's how we stand at 7-6. Judson looks left, throws left. Ball bobbled and incomplete as he was looking for Jaden Lucas.
A lot of this side-to-side passing here. I'd like to see maybe some over the middle, maybe from Judson here. I think you throw in a quick slant or a post here. I think it would work out well, but trying to utilize that speed that the Wolverines have, getting them in space, looks like what they're attempting here.
And by no stretch of the imagination is Gavin Judson short. And that, sometimes that'll preclude you from being able to throw the ball across the middle if you're not a taller quarterback. But Judson listed at 6'3" and just a shade under 200 pounds.
Absolutely. He certainly has the vision to be able to get that ball over the middle.
Judson straight drop back, looks left, throws to the left-hand side. The pass intended for Jaden Lucas. This time is too high.
Judson pass intended for number 4.
That'll bring up 4th down and 10 for Woodland Hills with the ball at the 25-yard line.
Watkins in on the coverage for the Tigers.
Woodland Hills is going to have to dig deep into the playbook, try to get at least 10 yards out of this next play, or they turn the ball over on downs for the second time today.
Right. Well, they converted that big 3rd and 15 on the touchdown, so hopefully you can see something similar here on 4th down.
Timeout, Woodland Hills. First charge timeout of the half.
Uses a timeout, so we'll take another breather. It's 7-6, Woody High on top of the Woodrow Wilson Tigers. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine
If there's a turnover on downs, I'll send it to you.
On the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Fourth and 10 for Woodland Hills. The ball at the Woodrow Wilson 25-yard line. Woody High on top by 1, 7-6. Judson shotgun, looking right the whole way, throwing right. The pass low and incomplete. And turnover on downs for Woodland Hills as Judson couldn't connect with Jay Smith. We're going to send it down to the sideline where Rick McIntyre is joined by the new principal at Woodland Hills Junior Senior High School.
First down and 10.
Thank you, Adam. I'm standing here with Dr. Philip Woods, newly hired head principal at Woodland Hills High School. Dr. Woods, first of all, congratulations on the hire. Best of luck to you. I know you've got a steep mountain to climb coming into a fairly troubled district. It's been in the news a lot. What are your thoughts and, moving forward, how do you feel about the beginning of this new school year?
I'm very positive about the beginning of the school year. I spent a lot of time this summer working with the staff. We went through the University of Pittsburgh and did some restorative justice training and also explicit bias training. I'm trying to get the staff to make a connection with our students. We can make a better connection with our students, and the students will be more understanding and more willing to reach out and basically put down their guard and let's get the teaching and learning. That's the biggest problem is the kids don't feel a connection. People in the community that I've been speaking to don't feel a connection. Just being here tonight, the last few days, meeting the people, hearing how enthusiastic they are about me being here, I'm just happy to be here. It's an exciting time, and I think we're going to make some great gains this year.
I agree. It's about building relationships. Well, again, I thank you. I wish you the best of luck, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
Injury timeout on the field as Anthony Meredith is getting stretched out with a calf cramp. And on first down, after Woodland Hills turned the ball over, there was a low snap, and Malachi Anthony couldn't hang on to it. Amir Gerald scooped up the ball, tried to make the best out of the play that he could, and the best that he could was to get the ball a yard shy of the line of scrimmage, and it's now 2nd down and 11 for the Woodrow Wilson Tigers with the football at the 24-yard line with 5 minutes and 2 seconds to play in the third quarter. The clock winds, and it's a 1-point lead for Woody High.
Yeah, Tigers able to dodge a bullet there. Not giving up the ball and jumping back on it was Gerald.
Malachi Anthony claps, starts the play, but it looked like a receiver over here on the near side moved quickly as Zion Cobb may have dropped those shoulders prior to the snap.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Well, after the turnover on downs, the Woodrow Wilson Tigers dodged the bullet as Woodland Hills had the ball at the 25-yard line or so. But a loss on the first play and then a penalty backs them up to now 2nd down and 16 back at the 19.
Yes, you just got to hope that Woodland Hills defense can make sure they do not give up any big plays here. Contain Gerald.
Malachi Anthony looking left, throwing left. The pass is complete to Quincy Barber, and Barber is shoved out of bounds over there on that far sideline. Looked like William Clark on the coverage for Woody High. Gain of about 7 on that play brings up 3rd down and 9.
After the loss, that play like that isn't as detrimental to the defense for the Wolverines.
Bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Clock stop, 4:31 to play after the runner goes out of bounds. Third quarter here, Woodland Hills up 1. Woodland Hills took the lead 7-0. Woodrow Wilson cut it to 7-6 on a 2-yard touchdown run. Screen pass set up, and had it not been for a heady play there, it looks like by Anthony Meredith to drop back just at the last moment and kind of tip that pass. Amir Gerald may have had a ton of room to go as the Wolverines were just bringing the house, and it was Meredith who tipped the ball initially, and then staying home there to prevent what could have been something very bad was another Woody High linebacker.
Just a great play by Meredith there to make sure that screen was not successful for the Tigers, or else you are right, Gerald would have been in open field, and who knows how far he could have gone there with that ball.
So the punt unit will come on for Woodrow Wilson with 4:22 to play here in the third quarter. And they're in no hurry here. Feels like any second they're going to be guilty of delay a game.
Absolutely.
Gerald the punter, high snap. He'll get it away cleanly. Spiraling punt this time. It's going to be caught on the run by Jay Smith, and he'll be brought down just inside of Tigers territory at the 49-yard line. The first drive of the second half for Woodland Hills started at the 48, this one at the 49. Let's see what the Wolverines can do with it.
A little deja vu on the field position starting. That's right, Adam, but hopefully a different outcome here for the Wolverines.
And the WPA Everyone Football Showcase. All of your legal needs, contact Attorney Reed.
See what approach they take here with Judson coming back out.
So Woodland Hills with the football. 1st and 10 at the 49. Meredith had a crease. It closed quickly as up around his jugular vein went Davin DeZino. And Meredith was able to pick up a few yards.
Officials timeout, injury.
Next week, Woodland Hills in conference play as they take on Bethel Park. First road trip of the season for Woodland Hills in week number 1. Kickoff Down in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. Woodland Hills in a rather strange conference this year, but they're kind of victims of being the furthest west team in the eastern suburbs. So they get placed with teams out in the western suburbs of Pittsburgh and in the southern suburbs of Pittsburgh.
Certainly no stranger to Bethel Park, though.
That's for sure.
Some epic matchups there between the Blackhawks and Wolverines.
New QB for Woody High, Rodney Stubbs. In the shotgun. Trips left, one receiver right. Stubbs is going to keep it himself, running to the right-hand side. He's across the 40, inside of the 35-yard line, where he's finally brought down at around the 33.
Very nice run by Stubbs there. He didn't hesitate. He knew what he wanted to do, and he got the hole, and he took it. And a big first down run for the Wolverines. Hopefully able to build some momentum up now after a play like that and tire down this Tigers defense.
By the end of the third quarter, that money will go to someone else. White ticket.
So first down and 10 for Woodland Hills after the big first down there by the QB Rodney Stubbs. Stubbs going to run it again. Lost the football. This time it's scooped up by a big fella. Then he has it pulled out of his mitts. And a massive humanity for the football, and the bodies are going to have to unpile. And coming out of there with it is Jairus Balinga for Woodrow Wilson.
Ball security has been a problem so far for the Wolverines, and just some more sloppy play, just not able to hold on to the ball there. Just looked like definitely got the mitt in there, did the Tigers' Juan Dixon, but
apologies, 38-yard line.
After it was picked up by the Wolverines, I think it looked like Jamir Ulmer, instead of just diving on it, tried to pick up and run with it and caused even more problems, and now we go back over to the Tigers.
White ticket.
So Woodland Hills, their third turnover of this football game. And that's bad news if you're a Woodland Hills fan on how they just cannot seem to hang on to the football. Malachi Anthony pressured, he's going to run, he's going to slide his way down as he had a Wolverine converging on him and Jeffrey Williams.
He did a nice job, though, not forcing anything there, not overthrowing the ball, just tucking it and getting a nice chunk of yardage there for the Tigers. Making it a second and manageable, about 4.
And again, Malachi Anthony's going to run, and he's going to pick up the first down this time.
Avoiding the blitz.
Gain of about 9 yards. First and 10 for Woodrow Wilson with the football at the 47-yard line.
Looked like basically the same thing there as the play before. Anthony got the pressure, but he was able to elude it and then go right up the middle and get a nice chunk of yardage this time for a first down.
This time, Malachi Anthony is pressured, and this time he is brought down in the backfield. Stopped in the backfield by Christopher Jones.
Yeah, nice pressure by the Wolverines there, and they stuck to it, and they were able to stop Anthony and not let him get out of there and start running free. And it looked like Amir Gerald came in there and made a nice heady play at protecting the ball so that Anthony did not fumble.
Second down and 15 from the Tigers' 48-yard line after a loss of 5.
Second down and 15. Twins to either side. Ball carrier is Gerald. Gerald drives his way forward.
Number 16, Amir Gerald.
And he's going to pick up about 8 or 9 yards, bringing up third down and a little bit more manageable 7, maybe 6 with the football at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, you call that a success if you're the Tigers there, getting a nice chunk of yardage out of Gerald.
Again, Amir Gerald is the ball carrier, brought down by Jaden Lucas, but not before getting close to the first down flag.
Yeah, this is going to set up a 4th and very short. And I think I have an idea what they're going to do here, Adam.
Yeah, I think they're going to give the ball to the tailback, Amir Gerald. Amir Gerald is the ball carrier. He's got the first down and more before he's brought down by Idris Godlock.
Yet again, right up the middle, giving a heavy dosage of him, and why not? He is your horse. Stick to him.
Hand off. Gerald again. And this time he's able to push his way forward for just a yard or two before being brought down by Caleb Brevard.
And just fighting through that initial contact, Adam, and getting something out of nothing.
Clock winding now down towards 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 1 point lead for the host Wolverines, but the visiting Tigers threaten. Malachi Anthony looking right, throwing right, and the pass is caught along the near sideline at the 2-yard line. Pulling it in is Rodney Stubbs. It looked like the defensive back for Woodland Hills leaped up there and was able to maybe tip that football to no avail, though.
Yeah, and just a very nice throw by Anthony there, and great job by Barber keeping those feet in, or keeping 1 foot in all he needed, and putting the Tigers in a favorable situation.
Timeout, Woodland Hills.
And a timeout is on the field, so we're going to step away too. Woodland Hills trailing, or rather leading Woodrow Wilson, but they may be trailing soon as the Tigers threaten. 7-6, Woodland Hills on top. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and neighboring Woodland Hills communities for over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home now offers crematory services at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that their crematory is used exclusively for the families they serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Goal for the Tigers.
22 seconds to play in the third quarter. Woodrow Wilson threatening. Football at the 2-yard line. And flags fly before the snap. It looked like some white jerseys moved before the ball was snapped.
False start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still, first down.
So it's first down and goal now from the 7-yard line for the Woodrow Wilson Tigers. They're looking to take advantage of a fumble by Woodland Hills' Rodney Stubbs. Now the Tigers got that ball down near the 35-yard line, but have been able to push the ball down the field, just grinding it by Amir Gerald, and then one big pass. Now it's Amir Gerald, the ball carrier again. He's hit hard, basically, as he takes the handoff, but still is able to push his way forward just a bit to pick up 2 yards to the 5-yard line, bringing up second down and goal at the 5.
Yeah, nice job by the Wolverines reading what was coming, and looks like that would be the last play of the third quarter, Adam.
Yeah, Taiwan Milton with the big tackle there for that final play of quarter number 3. Well, we will start the fourth quarter the same way we started the third, with the scoreboard reading 7-6, Woodland Hills on top of Woodrow Wilson. We're going to step away. It's the Tigers and the Wolverines on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Don't forget to visit
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Set to start the fourth quarter. Second down and goal from the 5-yard line for the Woodrow Wilson Tigers. Adam Guskin, Eric Schuley, high above the artificial surface here at the Wolverena. Prowling the artificial surface on the far sideline is our intrepid sideline reporter Rick McIntyre, who will join us momentarily. Second and goal at the 5. Play action. Toss to the near side, and the pass is incomplete. The pass was intended for Amante Silver, but he couldn't pull it in after the play-action handoff to Amir Gerald.
Officials timeout. Injury.
Would have been interesting to see what would have happened there, Adam, had that been completed while he was in stride.
Send him down to the sideline, joined by Rick McIntyre. Rick, what's going down on the field level?
Thank you, Adam. As walking down the end of the field during the break there, I had a second there to talk with head coach Tim Bostard and kind of see how he's feeling. And first thing out of his mouth is, unfortunately, we got so many kids going both ways right now. And as he says it, I'm looking around, and there's several players on the sideline getting iced down for cramps. One in particular, number 17, Josh Rawlings. He was one of the players, I think, down on the field cramping. And as I watched it, they would get one cramp out of his leg, and a cramp in the side would start. They would get that out, and another cramp's going. So I think fatigue and some of the heat setting in here on the Wolverines. And certainly the size and the strength of this Woodrow Wilson team is not helping them in any way.
Thanks a lot, Rick. We'll check in with you as the game progresses. Right now it's a 7-6 lead for the Woodland Hills Wolverines, but again, the Woodrow Wilson Tigers are threatening third down and goal at the Woodland Hills 5-yard line. Scoring happened early as the Wolverines scored on their first possession of the game on a 15-yard touchdown pass. Bad punt snap led to the 2-yard touchdown for Woodrow Wilson a couple of plays later. And now the Tigers threaten again, and the pass into the end zone as Quincy Barber catches the pass from Malachi Anthony, and Woodland Hills is down by 5, 12-7 with 11:41 to play in regulation.
It's a tough break for the Wolverines there, Adam. Looked like he was looking at Gerald. Everybody was keyed in on him, and then a nice pass and strike from Anthony to Barber for 6.
And the first time we saw Woodrow Wilson score, they went for 2, and I wasn't sure why. Here, we know why, because that'll put them up by 2 scores. Should Woodland Hills be able to score, Woodland Hills would have to get a 2-pointer to win or a 1-pointer to at least tie, providing it gets that far down the road.
Exactly.
Anthony's pass to Gerald. Gerald is wrapped, and he will be brought down. A flag comes in late. Now, Michael Roman made the stop on Amir Gerald, but the flag came in. We're going to have to check to see what this one is. Like Malachi Anthony was hit late by a Wolverine, this may cost Woody
Personal
high.
foul, roughing the passer, defense, half a distance to the goal, redo the try.
That's just a bonehead play by the Wolverines there, Adam. No excuse for that. You gotta be careful there. It was definitely late. Got to know the situation, and now they have another shot.
Yeah, Savon Givner there wrapped up the quarterback, Malachi Anthony, and not only did he wrap him up, he dumped him down to the turf long after Anthony had gotten rid of that football. So now another opportunity for the 2-point conversion and just a little bit closer for Woodrow Wilson. Right now 12-7 with 11:41 to play. And the handoff will go to Amir Gerald, and he will be met at the goal line and then drive his way into the end zone. And Woodland Hills right now doubled up by the Woodrow Wilson Tigers, 14-7.
Yeah, that's a product of that bad play by the Wolverines there, Adam. Had him stopped on the initial try and then give him another shot. Well, they're going to go back to Gerald, and he strengthens his way into the end zone.
And that costs Woodland Hills 2 points on that roughing the quarterback penalty. So it's 14-7, Woodrow Wilson on top of Woodland Hills. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for nearly 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, alignment, state inspection, emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills doubled up right now by Woodrow Wilson as they ultimately take advantage of a fumble by Rodney Stubbs. It took them quite a long time to do so, but they finally do crack the scoreboard after a very, very protracted drive. It's capped off on a touchdown and then the 2-point conversion. And here comes the kickoff and the return. And on the return for Woodland Hills again is Jeffrey Williams. Caused some excitement for a moment, but finally was brought down. And it will be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills at the 40-yard line.
Not bad field position here, Adam. Hopefully this time Wolverines can do something with it and hold on to that ball. As we know, that has been a big problem so far, and they have to know the situation here. And you got plenty of time left, but just be safe with the ball. Don't try and do anything too crazy.
3 turnovers for Woodland Hills. Combine that with a bad punt snap that gave Woodrow Wilson the ball at the 6-yard line, and that's how they basically trail here. And the first play from scrimmage after the timeout is a rush by William Clark, and he is brought down after a gain of about 3 out to the 43-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. 15 yards added to the end of the run, first down.
So ultimately that'll be an 18-yard gain and send it back down to the sideline. Rick McIntyre, apparently you have a tidbit on Josh Rawlings and his condition.
Yeah, about 2 minutes ago, you can see down there right by the scoreboard, number 17 being helped into the training facility by a couple coaches and some doctors. As I'm just watching him walking by, he's just one giant muscle cramp right now, so wish him all the best to get out of pain and get well.
Thanks a lot, Rick. 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills. The football at the Woodrow Wilson 42. Anthony Meredith is the ball carrier, and he's going to pick up nice yardage to around the 35-yard line. Before
injury timeout.
Number 8, Rashad Biggs in the tackle, however, another injury.
And an injured Woodrow Wilson player seems to be shaken up, and this may be a little bit more than a cramp. Fortunately, so far, we've seen nothing but cramps. The Woodland Hills quarterback was shaken up at the end of the first half as Gavin Judson was looked at by the training staff, but this young man here in some serious pain, and hopefully it is just a cramp, but it looks like it may be something more serious.
Yeah, hopefully a cramp. As we know, sometimes those cramps can be really bad, so certainly could be that. Looks like could be something else, but you know, like you said, as long as it stays with the cramps and nothing else more serious, it's better that way.
You know, I haven't had an opportunity to do so, but Eric, we'd like to welcome you back to the Woodland Hills Football Network. 3 seasons ago, Eric was our intern here at WHFN. Then he worked behind the scenes 2 seasons ago, took a hiatus last year, and then rejoins us this year, and he's going to be our primary color analyst, and then he's going to step over to play-by-play when I'm not available. And Rick McIntyre, his last season, will move from the field to the booth to join Eric on the games I'm not available for.
Happy to be here, Adam. It's great to be back.
That's for sure. Good to have you along with us again this season. Back to the field we go, where it's 2nd down and 3, ball at the 35-yard line. And a flag flies. Now, the official back here blew his whistle and gave the winding motion. Then he threw a flag.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That'll back Woodland Hills up by 5 yards.
Well, that's unfortunate for Woodland Hills because instead of 2nd down and 3, it's now 2nd down and 8 from the 40-yard line. Line to gain is the 32. Gavin Johnson has taken all but 2 snaps for Woodland Hills today. Rodney Stubbs came in, showed some nifty footwork, picked up a nice first down, and the next play he fumbled, and Judson returned, and Woodland Hills going to get the favor returned to them.
Encroachment
by a
defense.
Defensive lineman from
5-yard penalty,
Woodrow
still
Wilson.
2nd down.
Certainly some sloppy play on both sides of the ball, but you suspect that in the first game of the year.
Bring up a 2nd down and 3.
Curtis Jefferson, the guilty party for Woodrow Wilson. You know, this is week 0 in Western Pennsylvania, and years ago, this used to be the 2nd scrimmage week for most teams. Instead, now it's a real game for most teams, and You're still ironing out those kinks after just 2 weeks of camp as Anthony Meredith, the ball carrier, drives his way towards the first down flag, and then he's going to be dumped down once the play is over. And earlier today, we saw a couple of times where the officials were quick to throw flags. There was an opportunity I thought that a flag could have been warranted when Davin DeZinho just horse-collared Meredith and tossed him to the turf long after the whistle.
Oh, definitely. That was very long after the whistle, Adam, and he came out of that mass of humanity there and got thrown to the ground, and at least he got the first down. Let's say that.
Trips right, one receiver left. Judson lost the snap. He was just going to fall on top of it. Looked like it was a design run to go to William Clark. Instead, Woodland Hills is going to end up with a loss on that play of about 8.
Seems like this is so back and forth. One team makes a mistake, then the other team makes a mistake, and then back and forth and back and forth.
Clock winds, 9:35 to play in regulation. Woodland Hills down by 7. 14-7. Good to have you along with us here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Judson looks right, throws right, and the pass is intended for Jay Smith and incomplete. On the coverage, Dante Jones.
Coverage on the play
for Wilson.
by Woodrow Wilson player Dante Jones. No gain, bring up a 3rd down and 18 for the Wolverines.
Woodland Hills trying to avoid being the only team from the WPIAL to lose here in the Western PA versus Everyone football showcase. Peters Township won yesterday evening. Last night, Pittsburgh Central Catholic gave Ewick Cathedral Prep their first loss since 2015. Earlier today, the victory for nearby Amani Christian in the lid lifter of day 2. Then a win for the McKeesport Tigers in the second game of today. And the third game was a victory for Aliquippa. Good throw to the near sideline where Judson finds Michael Roman. And Michael Roman is brought down at the 17-yard line for a Woody High first down.
Great pass, great vision by Judson. He looked very poised there, did not get panicked in the pocket. He came out, made a strike to Roman, and a big first down there for the Wolverines.
And that'll be first down and 10 for Woodland Hills with the ball at the 17-yard line. Trips to the left of the formation, one receiver to the short side right, Judson in the shotgun. Sidecar to his left is William Clark. Judson's going to run to his left-hand side, and he's going to be tracked down from behind by Christian Watkins. And the Wolverines, they take 2 steps forward and a step and a half back throughout this drive.
It's been a lot of that, Adam. It's just very unfortunate that they just can't keep moving the ball. You get one nice play, then you go backwards, and Judson was not able to get on the edge there. Didn't quite have the speed to get around the Tigers defenders. And again, a long second down attempt here. 2nd and 19 for the Wolverines.
9-yard loss, 2nd down and 19.
So 2nd and 19 for Woodland Hills, the football at the 26-yard line. The line to gain is the 7. Bunch to the right. Judson had a man open for a moment. Now he's going to throw it to another open receiver. And that receiver, Jaden Lucas, had to turn into a defensive back as that ball hung up in the air. He had to retreat and break it up. Now the Wolverines had Gianni Riggs finds himself open down the seam, but Judson was so dead set on throwing the ball to the right sideline towards Lucas that he never saw Gianni Riggs down that seam towards the end zone.
Yeah, tough break there, Adam. You wish you just would have turned and been able to see Riggs, but unfortunately he was not.
Twins to either side. Judson has a moment to throw, and he will throw the pass incomplete, looking for Michael Roman on that far sideline.
4th and long now for the Wolverines, Adam, and it'll be interesting to see what Coach Tim can pull out of the hat here.
You know, it was first down and 10 for Woodland Hills with the football at the 17-yard line after Judson found Michael Roman at that 17. Judson was then tracked down from behind, losing 9 yards. And since then, the Wolverines' offense has sputtered and stalled. Just under 8 minutes to play in regulation. Trips right. One receiver left. Judson in the shotgun. Sidecar to his left-hand side. Judson. Boy, he's pressured. They brought the house. He's rolling to his right. He's got to get rid of the football. Instead, he hesitates and gets tracked down from behind. The sack by Sean McPhail forces the turnover on downs.
Yeah, Adam, you wish, like you said, he would have been able to get rid of that ball a little bit sooner. Just heave one up, maybe the Tigers make a interception, and that would have helped the Wolverines, actually, if they'd have picked it up and not been able to run anywhere, because now the Tigers get to have the ball at their own 30, whereas if they'd have caught it and tried to run with it, they'd have been in some trouble. But unfortunately, gets tracked down from behind, sacked, and the defense has to come through big here for the Wolverines. Maybe they can make a big turnover.
Well, the defense has stood as strong as they could, considering 3 turnovers and a special teams error, giving Woodrow Wilson multiple offensive opportunities. Trips to the right here as Woodrow Wilson looks to make it a 2-possession game. Handoff goes to Amir Gerald, and he's rattled and brought down finally by Idris Goodlock.
Done a great job, too, the defense. Without 2 big players like Michael Coleman and Sidney Summers, 2 of the best tacklers the Wolverines have, 2 of the best defenders, and just recently losing Joshua Rawlings and also DeJuan Howes out of the lineup. Just big parts of this defense that are not here tonight.
And the handoff's going to go to the tailback Amir Gerald, and the ball was stripped out of there by a Wolverine, Christopher Jones. Now, regardless of if that would have been a legit fumble and strip by Christopher Jones or not, the second that he would have had the ball in his possession and no helmet, they would have blown the play dead. But regardless, there is no fumble, just a tackle by Christopher Jones amongst others. And it is 3rd down and about 3 for the Woodrow Wilson Tigers with the football at their own 37-yard line.
And you lose Chris Jones on this play as well because of his helmet coming off, just to step out for a play.
Trips right. They're going to run to the near side left, and Amir Gerald finds the biggest open field he's seen all day, and he's finally brought down by Jay Smith, also on the tackle, Taiwan Milton. And that's a backbreaker for Woodland Hills. Granted, there's still over 6 minutes of football to play, but a stop on that play, forcing a punt, could have given the Woodland Hills Wolverines the ball with decent field position and a lot of time to work with. Instead, this gives Wilson an opportunity to kill some clock.
Definitely, Adam. That was a big, big run for Wilson, and Gerald made a nice move and put them in a great position now to drain some clock and possibly score again and put this game out of reach for the Wolverines.
Twins to the right, 1 back set, flag flies.
Delay game, 5-yard penalty offense, 1st down.
Six minutes, 11 seconds in the game. Tigers leading by
1st down and 15, ball at the 48-yard line. Malachi Anthony claps his hands, hands the football off, and for the first time today, a tailback is not Amir Gerald, it's Rashad Biggs. And he'll pick up 4 yards before Michael Roman brings him down, brings up 2nd down and 11.
Wolverines defense has to tighten up here and get a stop to have any chance. They really, really got to make a stop here.
Wing to the left, and the pistol. And that hand clap's been going on all day, and for the first time today, a Woodland Hills defender falls forward. Keyshawn Frazier, the guilty party.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That will make it 2nd down and 6 for the Tigers.
Instead of 2nd down and 11, now it's 2nd and 6.
Yeah, again, that's Frazier new on that defensive line. Again, you're missing a guy like DeJuan Howes. He loves to plug up that middle, and he's just not there.
Again, the ball carrier is Rashad Biggs, and Rashad Biggs pulling the pile with him, still on his feet, and finally will be wrestled to the turf by Jaden Lucas. Pulling at the football for the Wolverines was William Clark. But Rashad Biggs would not be denied the first down and considerably more as he's finally brought down at the 34-yard line.
He made a big spin move there, Adam, that got him out of trouble initially, and then he just kept carrying the pile.
Correction, make that the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 13 from the 39 to that 26. First and 10 with just over 5 minutes to play. And Woodrow Wilson pounding the ball down the field and what appears to be a tired Woodland Hills club.
Absolutely, this defense has been on the field a lot tonight, Adam.
Low snap. Slides past the quarterback, Malachi Anthony, and he's able to dive back and cover up the football and nearly squirted out of his hands there. And there are two Wolverines converging. Fortunately for Malachi Anthony, he was able to get it before Jaden Lucas got towards that football.
Exactly, Adam. That's what the Wolverines needed, but they just needed to be able to jump on it and can't seem to get those breaks other than those big personal fouls at the beginning of the game. The Wolverines have not been able to get that big break.
Second and 27, loss of 17.
Second and very long. The line to gain is the 16-yard line. The ball is at the 43, so that makes it second and 27. Back in, Amir Gerald at tailback. Play action as they'll throw the ball over to Quincy Barber, and Quincy Barber slides his way forward through one tackler before being brought down by Michael Roman. But Quincy Barber picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards down to the 41-yard line, making it third down and maybe a little bit more manageable, but actually make it a gain of 2, not a gain of 5 or 6. So it's third and 25.
That would have been designed to hit Barber in stride. That could have been a big play for the Tigers there, but since he had to reset and run, Wolverines were able to track him down.
Trips left, one back set. Malachi Anthony pressured, hit as he releases the football, throws it deep down the field. He was looking for Quincy Barber, but incomplete. And right there, the difference between roughing the quarterback and making contact with the quarterback just as he releases the football. And I'll tell you, Malachi Anthony didn't like it, but there was certainly nothing egregious about the contact between the defender and Anthony on that previous play.
Agreed, Adam.
Well, Woodland Hills doesn't give up any points, though they do give up some serious yardage. And if there's a turnover on downs here, Woodland Hills, or rather if Woodland Hills is able to get a decent return here, they're going to set themselves up to try to tie or take the lead on this drive.
Got to be careful on this punt return, though. You don't want to let him get a good bounce here, but you got to be careful. You don't want to muff it.
And the ball is muffed. Well, Eric, thanks a lot. But good luck, John.
Yep, gave the jinx at him. Don't know why not like a fair catch would have mattered, would have backed him off a little bit, but I had a feeling something like that was going to happen.
Yeah, that was a rough one for Woodland Hills. Is the second special teams mistake today is another turnover for Woodland Hills. That is their 4th giveaway.
In the game.
A lot of shooting themselves in the foot, Adam. You know, it's just been a theme all day for the Wolverines, and hopefully they're able to shake this game off.
Malachi Anthony looks to the left, throws to the left. Nice defense there. Getting up and making the play was Jay Smith.
Number 10, Jay Smith.
Nice play by Smith there to knock that ball away.
Bring up a second down.
So far, Jay Smith, a strong candidate for our state senator Jay Costa player of the game. A couple of nice defensive plays today, lots of tackles. Add to that the touchdown reception where he went head over heels into the end zone.
Got the pylon, I would agree, Adam. He's been big out there, again replacing a presence in Michael Coleman, who is unavailable tonight.
Trips right. Handoff will go to Amir Gerald. Amir Gerald runs to the right. Finally brought down inside of the 10.
Number 16, Amir Gerald.
Around the 8-yard line.
Positive yardage.
More extracurriculars.
Pushing and shoving, some face mask activity. Certainly not the pleasantries that you may exchange with friends in that circumstance.
Ball spotted on the 8, 1st and goal for Woodrow Wilson.
Nonetheless, this could be the dagger for the Wolverines here, unless the defense can stand strong and stop them or maybe get a turnover.
First and goal for Woodrow Wilson, the ball at the 8-yard line, just over 3 minutes to play. Woodland Hills runs a defender on very late. Handoff. It's going to be Amir Gerald, and Amir Gerald is brought down in the backfield by Anthony Meredith.
On the tackle, Anthony Meredith.
Yeah, it's one of the first times he's brought down, before he reached the line of scrimmage. You don't see that very often with Amir Gerald. Anthony Meredith on the tackle there. Anthony Meredith is, I was surprised he wasn't as present on that last drive for the Wolverines. Getting the ball, he's your workhorse, but maybe he was cramping up. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good possibility that his value is just so much greater as a linebacker for Woodland Hills than as a running back, but the decision is save him for defense when circumstances necessitate it.
Especially with Sidney Summers not being available.
For sure. Sidney Summers out of the lineup as a flag came in on that play, and a broken play. Malachi Anthony was brought down by Anthony Meredith, so.
Illegal shift, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
That's number 5 tackle, number 5.
Second and goal.
Play is negated anyway. After the penalty against Woodrow Wilson pushes them back from around the 14-yard line back towards the 19. So this was first and goal at the 8, and now we're looking at second and goal from, they're going to actually say the 17.
Big stand needed here by the Wolverines.
Malachi Anthony, the quarterback. Next to him is the tailback.
Clock continues to roll at him. Just time dwindling away for the Wolverines here.
Maybe Gerald, the ball carried there, and I think Woodrow Wilson will be just as happy to kill clock in this circumstance as to score points, because both lead to a victory and a joyous ride home.
Third down
to the DC Metro.
Line.
A couple of teams earlier today did not have such a joyous ride home to the DC Metro, and Woodland Hills would like to make it 3.
Dead ball flag.
But with 1:18 to play and a 7-point deficit to overcome, plus their opponent
False
having the ball at the 12.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Things are a bit precarious, though.
Third down going back to the 17-yard line.
Again, Wilson committing penalties. It's going to push them back to the 17 again.
Here again, though, with the clock rolling before that, the clock starts again, it's just, you could just keep false starting.
(14-7). It's third and goal at the 17 for the Woodrow Wilson Tigers. Motion man from right to left. Pass to the right-hand side where Quincy Barber catches it, slides through tacklers, and he'll take it into the end zone for a 17-yard touchdown. And that may be the backbreaker for Woody High.
Yeah, Adam, just what you absolutely cannot let happen there. Just got to contain them and give yourself some kind of chance at coming back. But Barber makes a nice play, and the Wolverines can't stop him. And that looks like it will do it for the Wolverines here tonight.
We're going to send it to sideline. Rick McIntyre, does the defense look as gassed down there on field level as they do from up here?
Well, I can't really speak for how they look from up there, but from down here they look fairly beat up, fairly tired, obviously right now pretty discouraged.
And that's very understandable after watching their efforts throughout the game be thwarted after Woodland Hills turned the ball over 4 times today. 3 times on offense, once on special teams. Add to that the one touchdown for Wilson today was set up by a low punt snap that Chucky Hanchett had to scoop up and race out of the end zone, try to make something out of nothing, and ended up getting tackled around the 6, and a couple of plays later, the first touchdown of the game gave Wilson just a 1-point deficit. And here in half number 2, they have scored 14 unanswered points thus far. And with the PAT here, they look to make it 15 unanswered in the second half. Levi K on to attempt the point after touchdown. First time that the Tigers go for 1, and it's blocked.
And that kick is blocked by the Wolverines.
So it's 20-7 here.
Number 5, Anthony Meredith.
Woodland Hills with heads hanging low as they head to the sideline. Down by 13 points with 1:11 to play. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
1:11 to play, fourth quarter. Woodland Hills down by 13 points, 20-7. After Woodrow Wilson put the nail in the coffin on a touchdown pass. And the PAT by Levi K.
Flag coming in late there, Adam. Some undisciplined play by the Wolverines.
And another flag flies late, as there's been some significant jawing going on. Early on there was issues, and they cooled off for a while, and now things have got heated again, as on the return, Jaden Lucas was brought down, and then he got roughed up a little bit by Amonte Silver after being tackled. And again, the unpleasantries continued, and the officials are ironing this out with 1:04 to play, and it's a 13-point football game. Again, Woodland Hills looks to be the only team to lose in the showcase that it hosts here at the Wolverena. They probably had the toughest game, save maybe the Pittsburgh Central Catholic game against the Erie Cathedral Prep.
After the play, personal foul, return team, 15-yard penalty. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the kicking team. That is number 8's second unsportsmanlike conduct foul, and he is ejected from tonight's contest.
That's the second ejection we've seen here at the Wolverena today. Earlier today, a player from the Erie Royals was ejected for some extracurriculars by referee Bill Heidkamp. Now, it wasn't for 2 unsportsmanlikes in the same play. It was because he came off of the sideline and participated in an on-field altercation. So he got the boot. Now another player gets the boot, this time for Woodrow Wilson.
You never want to see that, Adam. You like to see the aggressiveness and the fight and the battle in these players, but you don't want a game to end like that. He's on the 8 is on the field actually.
Yeah,
right now.
I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
Rashad Biggs, I think, trying to slip past.
I'd like to make
Yeah,
a correction.
I mean, not only was he guilty of the penalty, he was ejected for his second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and the referee made it perfectly clear.
Exactly. He almost slipped past there, though. I'm surprised they didn't grab him right away and get him off the field, but nonetheless, he is off now.
Pass to the far sideline is incomplete.
Another flag comes in. That might be roughing the passer as Judson was shoved to the ground after the play.
After the play, personal foul, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, it may have been roughing the passer. That wasn't the indication by the official, but whatever it was too much, too late. As the pass was intended for Gavin Yarborough. Don't forget, next week Woodland Hills takes on Bethel Park, and we'll have the coverage for you live right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network as we hit the road for the first time.
Woodrow
here
Wilson,
in
first charge, timeout and a
2018.
half.
I'll tell you what, this official certainly loves his microphone. I'm sure he's glad I gave it to him earlier today. Anyway, we're going to step away one final time in regulation with Woodland Hills down by 13 points and 1:01 to play. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Chicken tenders, french fries, hot dogs, walking tacos, supremes, and pizza.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
For the Wolverines as Judson steps up into the pocket, has time, throws it deep down the field, and a big catch there for Jay Smith.
First down pass complete to number 10, Jay Smith.
You know, I think that was a rough in the passer too, as well, Adam.
There's a flag on the field.
Judson got hit late again, and these Woodrow Wilson Tigers have very little discipline.
Well, if that's the case, this ball is going to be moved from the 17, half the
Personal
distance
foul,
to the goal.
roughing the passer, contact to the quarterback's head, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Well, this ball moves from the 17 down towards the 8-yard line. That's good news for Woodland Hills, but it may be too late for Woody High as they're down by 13 points with just under a minute to play. Barring a significant miracle, Woodland Hills would need to get 2 scores here in the last 53 seconds of ball.
We have
it
seen
hasn't
some
happened
miracles.
before. Yeah.
I was going to say, we've seen some fantastic finishes from the Wolverines.
Judson shotgun, looks left. Now he's going to roll to his right-hand side, looks back to the left-hand side, and the pass into the end zone. He's looking for Michael Roman, and Michael Roman's looking for a flag, as there was a white jersey draped all over his back.
Looked like he was getting grabbed and unable to make an attempt to catch the ball there, but not going to get that call there, unfortunately. And looks like they're going to have to make this happen on second down.
Just under 49 seconds to go here. Second and goal for Woodland Hills with the football at the 8-yard line. Twins to either side. Judson looks to his right, and the pass is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. It was Jay Smith who had the ball in his hands, but he just couldn't hang on. And Smith, who caught the lone score today for Woodland Hills and made the big play to get him down in this neck of the woods, can't hang on to that one.
Yeah, it certainly looked at him like that was a good enough throw. It looked like Tigers, Dante Jones had the jersey of Smith, but still looked like he should have been able to catch that ball.
Third and goal at the 8 now. Judson shotgun. Trips to the right, one to the short side left. Ball in the left hash. Judson looks right, looks back left as he's pressured. He's going to be wrapped. He's going to push it over there, and a flag comes in as Rick McIntyre couldn't make the catch on the far sideline.
Judson chased down out of the pocket, flag on the play.
Come on, Rick, you got to show those tight end hands.
I was an outside tackle when I was here, sir. We did
Intentional
not.
grounding.
Throwing was cheating when I was a Wolverine.
Offense, 5 yards from the spot, lost it down, fourth down.
I don't know, you can ask Chris Edmonds. He used to like to catch the ball from time to time from that tight end position.
Funny note, Chris Edmonds, I believe, got his first time on the field my senior year after I shattered my leg right around the 45-yard line. So I like to claim that I gave him his start.
Right, and the Cincinnati Bengals thank you.
Fourth down and goal.
Trips to the right, fourth and goal, one receiver to the left. Judson in the shotgun. Last opportunity for the Woodland Hills offense. And Judson retreats, and he's going to be sacked. Chased down from behind by Tristan Thiesfield. And a turnover on downs for Woodland Hills. Comes at a costly time.
Yeah, lots of frustration tonight for the Wolverines, Adam. You really hope that Coach Tim Bossert is able to reel them in after this game and and move forward, because at the end of the day, this game is basically like an exhibition game, and there's a lot you can gather and work on from this game, and hope that they can recollect and get ready for a big game against Bethel Park next week.
So the Woodland Hills offense today turns the ball over on downs 4 times, turns the ball over 3 times, and the special teams unit on a punt return turns the ball over. Add to that the punt team was responsible for giving the Woodrow Wilson Tigers the football at the Woodland Hills 6-yard line, and they made short work of it, scoring a TD to score their first points of the game, and a knee is taken by the quarterback Malachi Anthony, and that's going to do it for this football game. 20-7 will be your final score as Woodland Hills falls to Woodrow Wilson, and they fall to 0-1 to start the season.
Yeah, Adam, like I said, it's a growing experience. You have a lot of inexperience on the field, and you had a lot of the starters that were coming back this year. A lot of them weren't here tonight and unable to play, so that's going to hurt you as well, and hopefully they can take care of it for next week and recollect and get ready for Bethel Park.
Again, Woodland Hills falls to the Woodrow Wilson Tigers by a score of 20-7. Woodland Hills scored first on the second offensive possession of the game. It was a 15-yard touchdown pass from Judson to Jay Smith. Back and forth, the two teams went, making mistakes, giving the ball back to the other team on turnovers on downs or turnovers just like that. And ultimately, Woodland Hills, as we said earlier, a bad punt snap gave Woodrow Wilson the football at the 6-yard line, and a couple plays later, it was a 2-yard touchdown run by Amir Gerald. And it was 7-6 at halftime. It stayed that way into the fourth quarter, and that's when Woodrow Wilson ripped off 14 unanswered points to defeat the Woodland Hills Wolverines 20-7. First on a 5-yard touchdown run by Amir Gerald, and then the next one was a touchdown pass, as it was Quincy Barber who raced into the end zone for the TD, and that put the Wolverines away 20-7. A rough start for the season for the Woodland Hills Wolverines, Eric Shuley.
Absolutely, Adam. You know, like I said, it's good that this doesn't count towards anything later on in the season. Hopefully we get those guys who are unavailable healthy. They can come back and make big contributions. We can work on those blunders that we had and move forward into conference play.
We are going to step away, and when we return, it will be post-game coverage right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Is one of America's leading independent energy providers and the official energy provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins and this weekend's WPA versus Everyone Football Classic. We provide electric and natural gas pricing for your residents.
Woodland Hills Football is brought to you in part by the law offices of Owen Seaman. Owen is a Woodland Hills alumnus who studied law at Duquesne University and has been practicing law in the Pittsburgh area for over 15 years. Attorney Owen Seaman's experience encompasses virtually every facet of criminal defense. If you find yourself in need of criminal defense representation, call Owen at 412-721-0412 or visit owenthelawyer.com. There are a few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barbers Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave that you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barbers Inn. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barbers Inn.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment. Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills falling to Woodrow Wilson 20-7 here in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania, as the Wolverines fall to 0-1 to start this 2018 year. Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley, and Rick McIntyre has made his way from the field up here to the booth for our post-game coverage. And guys, let's get your post-game thoughts on this game. Certainly not the way the Wolverines wanted to get started, Eric.
No, absolutely not. Adam, there's a lot they can learn from this game, though, and hopefully Coach Tim is able to reel the guys in and collect themselves for conference play because, like I said, you were missing a lot of guys, so I think we're going to see a lot of different Wolverines out there throughout the season if we're able to get them back.
And Rick, not just your impressions of the game, but how was the feel on the sideline? Not only how the Wolverines started and started hot, but then things dwindled.
I think as it dwindled, you can kind of feel the energy on the sideline kind of fall away with it. Somewhere around like midway through the third quarter, you start feeling a little less energy on that sideline. But my takeaway from this game is, these week 0 games, week 1 games, as is so often the case in a high school setting, it's a matter of who's going to make the most mistakes. And I think in the first quarter, Woodrow Wilson, obviously, that first touchdown drive for Woodland Hills, I think they had 3 different personal fouls, and then a couple plays in the first half. They missed a few big plays, big passes, making mistakes there. Somewhere around the third quarter, that mistake tally started shifting in the way of Woodland Hills, and the score started shifting likewise.
Well, we are going to step away for another couple of minutes, and when we return, we're going to wrap things up for you. But before we do that, in the second segment of our post-game coverage, we're going to let you know about all of our post-game superlatives, and we've got 3 this season, including a new one brought to you by attorney Owen Seaman. That coming up in the next segment of the post-game show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 3/4 of a century. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now. Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
To 7, Adam Gusky, Eric Shuley, and Rick McIntyre on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, and got some post-game superlatives to talk over before we wrap it up for the day, and we're going to start off with the Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game, and I think that all of us concur that it was the 15-yard touchdown pass from New Woodland Hills quarterback Gavin Judson to Jay Smith, the Woodland Hills receiver.
Oh, yeah, it was a great play made by Judson. We were stuck in a 3rd and 15 and, made a great adjustment and found Smith, and Smith with an even better run to the end zone and, getting the ball in the pylon and making the play.
How'd that play look down on the field? I know you're right down there.
Actually, I was kind of at the other end of the field, but I was impressed with the composure of the quarterback rolling out, finding a receiver, and then by the reaction of the crowd, I assumed it was a pretty athletic move to get into the end zone there at the end.
Yeah, he leaped from about the 3-yard line, went end over end and into the end zone, got that ball right inside of the pylon before coming down out of bounds. Now, we talked about Jay Smith, and Jay Smith is not only responsible for our Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game, but we've got a new addition, the attorney Owen Seaman defensive stand of the game, and he's responsible for the final play of that defensive stand where Woodland Hills was able to take the lead into the locker room, maintained by that Jay Smith interception late in the second quarter.
Oh, yeah, great play by Smith again, making sure that the game stayed 7-6, not letting it get out of hand, anything there happened for the Tigers, and great play by Smith.
Yeah, I think it happened with about 33 seconds left in the half. Looked like Woodrow Wilson had a little momentum, was moving the ball down the field, and Smith was just, in the right place at the right time, made a great play to hold that score.
And since we have a theme here for the first 2 post-game superlatives, guess who our State Senator Jay Costa player of the game is? That's right, it's Jay Smith, who not only had the touchdown reception as well as the interception, he also had a big catch late in the fourth quarter to set Woodland Hills up in scoring territory, though they didn't put any points on the board there, and I think it's well-deserved.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully we see a lot more of Jay Smith, and he did a great job of filling in, although I think he's going to play there all the time, but Michael Coleman, again, as we mentioned, was not available tonight, so we needed to stand strong in the secondary, and he did a good job of helping out there.
Yeah, I think he did a great job both sides of the ball all night, held his composure out there. Obviously his conditioning's in pretty good shape there because he was not among those going down with cramps, and was able to hold out pretty much through the whole game, giving 110%.
Looking forward, Woodland Hills travels to Bethel Park next Friday night, and the 3 of us will be on the call for you. And, Rick, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time you're going to be on the field on the road.
I'm not sure if that's true or not. I think there was a game last year, but I'm not sure if it actually panned out that I was on the field. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's for sure. Again, Woodland Hills falls today 20-7 to the Woodrow Wilson Tigers. Next week they take on the Bethel Park Blackhawks as they start in 5A conference play here in the WPIAL. For our entire broadcast crew and our on-air folks, Eric Shuley and Rick McIntyre, I'm Adam Gusky. We'll talk to you again next week from the South Hills of Pittsburgh right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. You've been tuned into the Wolverines and the Tigers right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Today's broadcast of Wolverine football was presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Wolverine football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grill, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, the law offices of Owen Seaman, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, LG3 Entertainment, Web Landings, A-Boss Opticians, Matthews Auto Service, and DeZubin Dental Associates. This broadcast has been a presentation of A.W. Gusky Productions and LG3 Entertainment. Copyright 2018.